All right,
Wait,
we've
how does
officially
that work?
started. Hey, it's
Oh, there
Phoenix.
we go.
I've officially started the recording. Hey, and you all can see my clip studio, right?
1337. Thank you for the donation. Does that say Anungus?
Anungus?
Nungus.
Anungus.
Thank you for the donation. Much appreciated. Is there did it just show up like that? Is there a specific reference for 1337 that I'm not getting?
It's elite.
It's ow, ow, I cringed.
How did you not know that?
I'm kind of like not. I'm kind of distracted by other things.
I moved my
So
model.
I still gotta like fix like all my stuff, right? So I had everything moved over because we were gonna try and use VTube Studio's new thing.
Oh, great!
But
You're moving. Now I'm gonna move you on my screen now.
Yeah. So we were gonna try VTube Studio's new thing. For those of
It
you who
works
don't know,
great.
VTube Studio added a thing to where you can like collab within VTube Studio instead of using like Video Ninja. So first off, works very, very well.
It's
Very
beautiful.
useful. Problem is, both people have to buy it.
Which is fine.
Yeah, if only I buy it, Royen can only be in the call for 10 minutes to test it out and see how it works, and then it kicks him out.
Which
Which
I get it. It's a
granted-
company.
It's company, and granted, that is good. It's good that you're allowed to actually sit down and physically test it out to make sure it works right. And
I
that
think
you like
that's
it.
gonna make nice just chatting collabs so much cooler because we can use each other's emotes and stuff.
Yes. The problem is it's like $16.99 right now in USD.
It's
By the way,
actually on
somebody posted a picture of how much it costs in Australia. In Australian dollars, it costs $30.
sale. Yeah. Fuck Australia though.
That's on sale. It's
No,
like
no.
$38 in
No, no, no,
Australia.
no, 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 no. Fuck Australia and their giant ass spiders. I don't care. I have no love for Australia. They deserve it.
Drop bears.
I hate all of their giant bugs. Get out.
You're really close to the edge of the screen, by the way.
Yeah,
You're like
would you
hair clips
I
out.
am literally almost all the way on the right. I'm pretty much where I am. Just move my entire thing over. I moved you
No,
around.
because your hair like when you turn to the side, your hair like clips out of existence.
Is that better?
Possibly. You might have actually had you like flipped or something.
You know, remember the V2 thing flips it. So now I gotta move you out again more.
What do you mean? I haven't moved.
I have to move on my side. Remember, because I was perfectly center on mine. So I'm removing
Phoenix
myself.
says, Roy, why you no talk to me today?
I thought I did.
Royen, did you not talk to him?
I thought I did.
Royen.
I thought I did. I've been very distracted today. It's been a long day.
Also, really quick, I'm gonna just open up Sunhaven in the background just so we have like some nice like music going.
Oh, I can tell you what I'm listening to.
You could, but the thing is, I can't have any music that's gonna get copywritten.
It's not free, sure. Well, since I'm recording, I just use my non-copyright stuff.
Okay. I
Plus,
guess you could send it.
Mine's not saving in the recording, so.
I can't do that. A
You can.
restream doesn't let me do it.
Oh yeah, I'm manually recording, so.
Yep.
Lightning's gonna hate all the.
Giant spiders, killer jellyfish, and lethal snakes.
Um.
Did my thing disconnect? What happened? It did. For some reason, OBS crashed.
Yeah, this song is called. Oh.
Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, I'm just literally listening to this on repeat.
Boop.
I want to hear it.
I shrink it down a little bit.
You said
For some reason, my OBS crashed. I don't really know
it just
why.
does that. Did I not talk to them?
I'm back on stream.
I did. I said. Oh, we said one thing today. It's been a day. Oh, it's been one of those
I'll let
days.
the stream people know. My OBS crashed. I don't know why. It just went. Pfft. So whatever it wants to do, I guess. But me and Ryan have like a fun just chatting thing going on today because we are going to answer the Femboy question. Would you like to
You're.
show them the picture, Ryan?
Oh, let me.
Actually, wait.
No, no, I got it. I got it. I got it.
Did Mizu mute? No, I shouldn't. Did it actually reset all my settings? What? Okay, yeah, it changed all my settings back.
Did you just get
I'm actually,
shot?
yeah, OBS Studio just like blew up and it changed a bunch of my settings. So that's good. You're talking.
Oh, my random
When I
project
opened it back
thing.
up, it changed your size as well.
Oh my lord.
Oh, is my tips thing not working?
Yeah,
It should
we're
be.
talking about this. Make sure
There's
my
so many problems.
my desktop. Oh, Discord's supposed to be recording.
Oh, did I type it wrong? It's tip, not tips. Though I think I'm allowed to have multiple different ones.
He should be fine with this song though. He doesn't care too much about his stuff being copyrighted, as long as you credit him.
Who is it?
Boba Cupcake. He's just
Nice.
he's the one that made the super cool bird song, cool bird theme song.
What are you talking about?
The song I sent you in Discord.
Royan's got the picture up now.
I do. So we brought it up, and of course, because I may or may not have accidentally a couple days today started or yesterday caused Bridget to be trending again. I may or may not have been part of that.
Yeah, I don't know why yours like took off because I made a joke about it, and
Well, I
actually
replied to somebody specifically. So okay, the original tweet, my tweet did better than their entire tweet. Because I made 2 tweets specifically. There's one person named Gwendolyn who said, I'm just gonna take a screenshot.
I'm trying to get the music up.
You know what? I'll even be nice. I'll even cut off their name, even though we all know who it is, even though I just said it.
I don't think you said the name.
I'm not loud. This is my random. I'm glad I made a folder just for random projects like this.
We're gonna be scuff all night because that's what we're about here is scuff.
Oh yeah, it is.
While Royan sorts this thing out.
Got it.
Okay. Educate the class, Royan.
So basically, this post was made. I just had it here. Where did it go? I just saved it. Ah! Carry on doing whatever you do.
Okay, so I was just gonna let people know that I had fun on Twitter where I made people upset. And Royan wanted to know about it, he said. My fun fight. So,
You go first.
somebody on Twitter, what is the name? Like their name is like Jazz or something. It doesn't really matter, not relevant to the story. But Jazz thought it was a brilliant idea to tweet at a larger VTuber that they thought their model was ugly and low effort and that they did not deserve followers. Which obviously went over fantastically. So I decided I would tweet about it because I like to tweet about drama stuff. And I wasn't like super all over them or anything. I just said, they decided to call this person's model ugly in public. Everyone found them. Even the person who made their model showed up to talk smack. And I was like, I can understand their frustration, but like this is like really not how to handle things. And people were like, if things were going fine, people were liking the tweet. Nobody seemed to have like an issue with it. And then somebody asked me, where's the original link to like the thread? So I sent them the link to the thread. And I said I didn't really want to talk about like everything in the thread because a lot of it was just kind of gossip and I didn't think it was all that important. And for some reason, the big VTuber who was originally like the one that was told that their model was ugly, retweets that with imagine turning someone's situation into your own way to gain clout because you're a drama bred tuber. Shitty take. This isn't gossip. If you looked into the thread, she's been inappropriate with minors as well. Don't turn my or others' situation into your claim to fame. I was like, what? Why is this like a huge fight? I said a thing. But I started making fun of her, and she didn't take well to that because I don't like sit down and actually let people bully me. So I thought it'd be funny to make fun of her.
As you should.
And then I made fun of somebody else because it was somebody who was tweeting about the same situation. And they, for some reason, they mentioned something about the person that was being accused had flirted with them once. Or after I talked to them, they said that's not what they meant. But because of that, I had looked at their Twitter and looked at like mentions of them saying someone was flirting with them. And it was literally just hundreds of times in the last year was them complaining about people flirting with them on Twitter. So I made fun of them for that. And then they got like really mad and upsetty spaghetti with me. And it ended up us just like talking it out in DMs. And I made a funny little meme friends tweet. But for a while it got like really salty because people really hated that I had tweeted that they were being a little oversensitive. Which I even told them in DMs, like I didn't backtrack on that. I was like, look, I think you're kind of oversensitive about this stuff. And they're like, yeah, I kind of am.
At least they admitted it.
Is Royen pouting? No, he's just not moving much. He's looking up stuff on...
I'm grabbing information.
Yeah, so the screen you're seeing is Royen's screen, because Royen wants to do art things tonight. And he's looking over at his other screen to like get images and jump.
I'm also going to read chat on this side too.
Yes.
My chat is on the screen.
We got a couple things, right? We got the we're going to discuss the Femboy question, as well as a couple other terms that people seem to misunderstand a lot. And we're going to do a Femboy tier list. We're not going to rate them on like best Femboy. We're going to have like a couple categories of, are they a Femboy? Are they trans? Are they a cross-dresser? Or are they, as you'll see with the meme that started all this, are they just a legitimate woman?
That's my favorite one. And I will say this, as much as I dislike it, it is a retcon and it is technically canon that Bridget is trans. So they would go in the trans category. As dumb as the retcon is. It is what it is. And I hate that when people go on and they say that about me. And I'll get to that in a second when I explain this whole situation. This has been my mood for the past 3 days about Twitter, by the way, on stream. Loads
Redentious with malicious intent.
That's McCullough, by the way, her non-rat form. So this is the meme.
Yeah, so I think of our friend group, I was the first person to like make a note about this meme and like send it back to the person.
Oh, I think we both did.
Because I did like a whole list out, and I was like, almost nobody on this picture is a femboy.
Like,
so from
3.
Yeah, because from left to right, how I would personally classify this is far left, the guy from Promare is a twink, which is not a femboy. Shimikaze, who is the girl with the ship parts.
Literally a ship.
Not just a ship, she is literally just a female. Yes, she's drawn in a lot of like dojins.
Very much dojin. Phoenix, I'm not streaming. I'm just recording.
Yeah, Royen's just recording. But canonically, she is literally just a girl. Astolfo would fit femboy and trap. Traps and femboys kind of go together most of the time.
Actually, that was one thing we'll get into, but generally speaking, you can be a trap and not be a femboy.
No, I would say all traps are femboys, not all femboys are traps.
Yeah, but you can also be a just a trap and not be a femboy.
Yeah.
Not counting, and for the sanity, we're not, verse trap and trap are the same thing. They're the same thing. It's just opposite. Hi, Burb.
Blue hair in the background is from Pokemon. His name is Grusha. I think Grusha is highly up for the debate, but because he is literally just a guy and he's not trying to look feminine, I would file him under twink.
Because he's not cross-dressing, obviously, because it's that's snow gear.
Yeah, he's actually a skier in game, and he's actually just wearing a ski suit with a big jacket.
We'll
the
get
one
to
on the
Venti.
front, neither of us are particularly well informed on them.
As far as I'm aware,
my
they're just feminine.
understanding they are they could be twink or femboy.
I believe they were
they
twink. They don't cross.
They would be femboy in like the metatextual sense of they clearly made him to be a feminine boy.
Yeah.
But he would be a twink probably canonically, in that he literally isn't trying to look like a girl. He's just very feminine.
I can draw on this.
The one with the brown hair and the skirt definitely fits femboy.
Actually,
but
fits trap as well.
Yeah, they're from Danganronpa.
Oh no, Chihiro. Chihiro.
Chihiro. Yeah. I don't want to say too much about Chihiro because I don't know anything about Danganronpa.
I played that game on stream. I can talk about this one. This one right here.
But I do know for a fact from what other people have showed me that they are not trans, regardless of what people try and say.
That's the canon. What thing would happen to them? Spoiler, by the way. They get axed.
To be fair, that happens to almost everybody in Danganronpa.
Yeah, pretty much. Here's the thing about Danganronpa. That art style, everyone's a twink.
Yes.
But that art style aside, Chihiro would be considered a trap. Only not because for sexual reasons, but actively they hide their gender to. Yeah, Chihiro's not trans. They hide it for because they were bullied.
Yeah,
that is their reason. Their entire story is they're trying to become more manly. Yeah, Yeah. The correlation here is real.
And then I would say next is going to be Felix. It's Felix, right?
Yeah.
So Felix has only ever been quote unquote trans in what I understand is a mistaken translation. Because in every other instance, they are very affirmative that they are a male. So it's, from my understanding, either a mistaken translation in one of the older light novels, or it's it's more him telling somebody he likes them, and is trying to do the thing that the femboy from Steins Gate did, where they're kind of like, I only want to be a female because I like you and I want you to like me back, and I think you can't do that unless I am a female.
Actually, there's
which is a completely different situation than wanting
so
to be trans.
I did read those light novels because I have nothing better to do with my time sometimes. Mm-hmm. The thing is, Felix cross-dresses and acts like a woman for Crush, who has to be the major, who had to throw away her femininity to be masculine. So he says, I'll take on your femininity so that you can be masculine. That's what he did. That's why he does it. He does it for Crush, a woman. I don't remember if they love each other or not, but he does it specifically for her. And the line that everyone takes out of context is, I'm a pretty girl, is a little chant that he says to himself every morning. It very quickly is fixed in context, but people like to take that one line out of context.
Yeah.
I like to plug the video, but Dimitri Monroe does make one of the best videos about it, explaining a lot of these characters. But we're not going to...
We could do Venti. And I think Venti is up for the debate, depending on your perspective, between femboy and just twink. Because the thing is, and me and Royen had this discussion the other day, is that it's very difficult to classify younger teenage characters as a twink or femboy, because a lot of times they just look young. And we kind of had like this longer discussion. Is like, yeah, a lot of kind of in anime 15, 16-year-old males look very twinkish because they're like 15, 16. It's not because like they're gonna grow into that.
And yes, he is European.
And canonically, even though Femboy or Venti is very old, he takes the form of his friend when his friend was still alive and was very young.
And there's also one more thing about the outfit itself. He's just wearing a bard outfit.
Traditional male outfit.
It's a bard outfit. Bards were always flamboyant. It's flamboyancy versus femininity is the biggest thing that people like to mention. But I let Venti slide because Diluc is also a twink in that game. Like, he's actually canonically a twink. Venti is just a younger character looking.
Yeah, so I think we would kind of unwillingly slide Venti into Twink, but we have to acknowledge he is that way because he's young, not because he's actually a twink, really.
Because he is a bard still. He does choose to look like this. He's a weird case, like I said. But
it's like
he
when
can go either way.
show pictures of like, we need to bring back men wearing skirts, and it's like a picture of what dudes wore in like the...
He looks young. Sorry, he looks young. He's taking the body of a young person, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I clarified that. He isn't young. He is old. However, his specific form is of a friend of his at the age his friend was, which his friend was very young. I don't think it's ever like clarified specifically how young he was, but it's definitely not an adult.
Yeah, or at least it's like a very young looking teen.
Yeah, Venti's immortal. Venti's
yeah.
And then Link. Link, we decided
Link's a twink. He's just a twink. Okay, so I'll explain Link because
we don't even really consider him a cross-dresser. We consider him cross-dressing in this one scene.
Yeah, because no other Zelda game he cross-dresses. Look, everybody likes the Gerudo outfit. Let's be real. Everyone kept the Gerudo outfit on the entire time. It's cool that you did it. But here's the thing.
We believe that canonically, as soon as that mission was over, Link probably ripped it right off and put his armor back on.
Yeah, because the thing is, he's only classified as a twink. Because even like Twilight Princess Link is pretty like decently manly. That's still a twink.
Mm-hmm.
Because specifically, well, yeah, there was a Four Swords game, but once again, that's not like canon as far as I'm aware. But the thing about Link is, he's an elf.
Elves are kind of naturally twinky.
Even like, because look at Zelda, then look at Link. They're very similar. Except, obviously, she's more curvy. Like, even Breath of Wild Link, who is pretty buff by Link standards, is still twinkish. Look at those curves. Those are curves right there.
Yeah. And like I think I do want to clarify before we continue, because a lot of people, when we originally took down this image, were like, oh, so you don't like trans characters in anime? And it's like, no, we don't mind trans people in anime. We just think it's weird that you use this image to try and say like there were femboys all over the place, when like I think we agreed that 2 people on here are femboys, arguably 3.
There are, so we have Felix Femboy, Chihiro Femboy, and Astolfo are 3 confirmed, guaranteed. I didn't watch this anime or read this. I don't have a thing. By the way, I'm drawing out Link's actual
do.
But
Link,
for this,
we agreed 100% not femboy.
Grusha is a ski outfit. It's heavy clothing in snow. You're going to look more feminine.
Not femboy.
Or you're going to look more androgynous by default.
Shimikaze, literally just a woman.
Wait. Female. Just female.
And the Promare guy is just a twink.
Because even like when his shirt is ripped off, he's not like doing the whole femboy thing. He's just like, it's a trigger show. Like, if you have to call him a twink, you have to call Simone a twink.
Yeah. I think we agreed that of our classifications, twink is completely out of your control. You can just look like a twink, and that's how you are. Some of it is in your control, like body hair. If you shave off all your body hair, you're kind of making yourself a bit more twinkish. I think we agreed that both Femboy and Trap require some kind of intention behind them.
Yes.
Trap requires like a very specific intent with how you interact with other people. And Femboy requires a very specific intent with how you want to present yourself. So I don't think you can accidentally be a femboy. I think you have to specifically go out of your way to do it.
Sorry about the neon blasting, by the way, everybody. Ah!
The flashbang.
Sorry, it has to be flashbang for this to work. We're going to use a pencil today because...
Yeah, so what did we want our categories to be? We wanted our categories to be like...
For the sandy
trans, twink, femboy, and trap.
We have trans... Well, we have trans over here, then you have GNC.
Gender nonconforming.
Yeah, gender nonconforming, then trans.
For those who don't know the proper terminology for like a male or female who don't try and like look like their birth gender in any way is generally gender nonconforming or GNC. It isn't. I think it's weird because of the name of it. GNC is not a separate gender identity. It's specifically saying you are comfortable with the gender you are, but you don't conform to like how that's traditionally supposed to look. So like girls in suits and guys in dresses kind of thing.
Made the trans bubble smaller because we don't have much to do with the trans bubble. I'm not like putting characters in. I mean, I could put characters in here, but for examples. But anyways, those are put down. Yeah. So that's our main goals here. So let's move this over. We have GNC. So under GNC, I would say we have a few categories. We've got crossdressers, femboys. Oh, actually, no, that doesn't even work that well. So we have crossdressers and femboys, and then twinks. Right? I'm not even.
I wouldn't necessarily put twinks under GNC. I think twinks are literally their own little category.
I hate the word cis.
You aren't trying to be a twink.
All right, let's get the word cis. I don't like the word cis, but we're using the word cis. But that's like the word we use now, so even though people always use it as an insult. Here we go. So for Sandy, for trans, let's get trans out of the way now. It's male and female trans woman. It's all it is.
It's MTF and FTM.
Yeah.
Why did you use really thick lines now?
I didn't realize I switched because I hit the wrong button.
I was about to say up to the thin line.
Well, I'm using a pencil line specifically. I can do a thicker on this. So we've got. It's the MTM and what's the other one?
FTM and MTF.
MTF.
It just means female to male and male to female. Line thickness OP, lol.
Yeah. This is what we do. This is how me and Mizu spend our days.
We make charts and thick lines. I mean, that's how you spend your day. I spend my day picking fights with people on Twitter.
I did that too, which I brought an image just when I needed that. So, there we go. So when I was on this page here, before I started drawing on it, I grabbed the tweet.
Oh, I saw that tweet.
So this was the tweet that kind of like blew up Bridget again. Because I cut the name because I'm being rude. And it says, the honest is a trans woman. I feel the word femboy is transphobic, which is a thing that happens every other week, by the way. This is normal now. It's very more normal than it should be. They go, considering every transphobe loves to argue we are femboys. Literally doesn't happen. And they go, like the literally best example is Bridget. And you know how that goes. We bring up this meme that people are full of shit.
Yeah, well, they're always, the idea behind it is they're trying to use a specific new interview with the Guilty Gear creator where he said that Bridget was always intended to be trans.
Where he's lying.
By the way, it's one thing to say Bridget is trans now. It's another thing to say that was always the intent, because that is literally just a lie. There are interviews where he's specifically said that was not the intent at all.
Like he openly clarified.
Yeah. So that's kind of what people use to say that all those times people called Bridget a femboy over the years, that is now retroactively transphobic. And
you know how that goes. People are kind of already sick of being called transphobic every day. It's boiling over bad more and more every day. I've got more enough fights about that I don't want to even bring it up. Yeah, that one person stopped following me, by the way.
Femboy is transphobic now. When trap was the word that got pitchforked, didn't people say to use femboy instead? Okay, so they did. And then a couple posts started popping up after Bridget that said, don't use femboy anymore. My favorite one that really took off because it was legitimately offensive said, what was it? It was called them Daisy Boys.
Rose
or
Boys.
Flower Boys.
It was Rose Boys.
Rose Boys.
Which is an actual gay slur.
Yeah, so he has it. So they said, call femboys Rose Boys, which for those of you who don't know, is an actual slur from the 60s.
An actual slur.
For gay men.
It's like, it's an actual slur. Like, what
And
the fuck is wrong with you?
it only got like a couple people agreeing with it until it really took off, and especially people like in the gay community were like, no, we're not using that word, we're not bringing that back. Yeah, it's because of that.
Yeah.
We still actually use rose to refer to some butt stuff to this day.
We toss a salad too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of times leafy things are meant for the boot. Then,
So to really like simplify it, we could do twink and bear,
yeah, twink.
unless we want to just like stick to important stuff.
Yeah, twink and bear are usually both in male. I'm not doing female because I don't remember the terms. I don't really feel like it. Twink and then bear.
We're not exactly
Females here.
expert on women. Otter for hairy twonks? Really? Actually,
You know what?
I admittedly didn't know that.
Burb's one of my new favorite people. They're very nice.
We're being educated today. I actually didn't know that one.
Otter. I'm gonna have to make a bigger circle.
Oh, so I was at work last night, and I work at a very progressive place. Basically, all of our management is some kind of LGBT.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so well, no, our management's actually pretty.
I'm
cool.
joking.
Yeah.
Joking.
But we have a new girl that's been working in my department at night to just do like chopping up foods and stuff for the next day, just so the morning crew has less trouble. And I forget exactly what we were talking about, but I was basically talking about how some companies need to really consider their marketing and like what they name stuff, because certain words don't mean the same thing they mean anymore. And I forget exactly what product we were talking about, but I said to her, I was like, yeah, like this product, and the one I always think is funny is Twinkies. And she says, why is Twinkies funny? And I was like, well, because it's a term for an effeminate gay man. And she's like, what? I was like, did you not know a twink was an effeminate gay man? And she's like, no. And I was like, well, I mean, yeah, like there's twink and there's bear. And she goes, what's a bear? And I was like, it's a hairy gay man.
We have a lazy Primus question.
I was like, it's a masculine gay man.
Wait, you learn. Oh, otter. Oh, right, because Seth Tease is the man, the myth, the legend, the most unimaginable femboy body pillows.
What's long and hard and has cum in the middle? I don't know.
I'm not answering this question. Good night, Phoenix. Shut up.
Night, Phoenix. You know, I absolutely blew her mind with that. It was only weird to me, not because like she didn't know.
That's not much better.
Yeah. But that like I'm in such a progressive place, and she's like a bisexual Wiccan, and she was unaware the terms were twink and bear. Which to me, like, I feel like those terms are pretty commonly known.
Okay. Sort of. If you don't, I would. She's female, and she said, what, a lesbian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or bisexual. She probably doesn't know because she probably doesn't care enough to learn the terms, which is fine. I don't expect anybody to.
It's just something I guess I always took for granted because of my circles, that a lot of this terminology was just well known.
No, trust me, one of my family, and they're pretty left-leaning, don't know that stuff.
It always gets me with the Twinkie one, because I've told it to several people. Like, you know, I really feel like they should probably change the name Twinkies, because that word doesn't really mean that anymore.
I've lost the ability to draw circles. Okay.
Can anyone really draw a circle? You gotta do the SpongeBob thing.
You draw a face.
You erase the details.
I have unironically seen someone do that at a spite.
Remove some of the line work, and there you have it.
I've actually seen someone do that. They're assholes too. So anyways, I will get like pictures of characters if we want to use examples. But you're
yeah, Lazy, if you have questions, I don't mind answering them.
Answer
but
all.
We are asking and answering the Femboy question, which is basically, what is a Femboy?
Yeah. So
such an internet neat, so I know too much obscure stuff. See, you might know like terminology, but I know like drama questions.
Mizu loves his drama.
Love drama so much. Like, there was a viral tweet the other day that everybody was dunking on, where a guy named John Swan was complaining about this girl on YouTube, not YouTube, but Twitch, who said that she didn't know how to do certain stuff in her real life. And I basically pointed out that, like, no, like, you know, that's right. Like, a lot of people just weren't taught stuff as a kid, and it's not fair to, like, judge them for not knowing it as an adult. But what I didn't say is I know that John Swan has been in a ton of drama for, like, really, really crappy stuff. I think the big one was he started, like, DMCAing people and lying to his friends about it. And he just dragged all of his friends into this massive drama fest that none of them wanted to be a part of, because he lied to all of them and kept, like, stringing them along, telling them, oh, everything's okay, guys, this person's lying about me. Like, it'll all come out one day that they're lying. And it didn't. It came out they were telling the truth, and John Swan's just a dickhead.
All right, so I've added Crossdresser now. Crossdresser's weird because of one reason. Crossdresser can be both cis people and gender nonconforming.
Yeah, so we've covered this before, but femboys typically crossdress. Traps almost exclusively crossdress. And then there's also the performance art of crossdressing, which is commonly known as drag shows.
So that's why I'm putting drag over here, actually, for a reason. But I put drag underneath crossdresser for one reason. A lot of drag performers do tend to be trans. It's just a weird thing. We don't know why. But that's why, that's why a lot of the time, the trans community doesn't complain about it. Because a lot of times...
It's weird, because drag fits everything.
Well, drag is performative. It's not a way of life.
Well, yeah, that's what we're talking about for cross-dressing. Yeah. You're not necessarily looking male or female. You're not trying to pass. Specifically just wearing the clothes of the opposite sex.
Yeah.
This is why we consider drag to be a part of cross-dressing. Because drag is literally just a performance, but they're still cross-dressing. Yeah,
because your gender identity has nothing to do with... Shh, Scum, get out. Scum, go back to bed, honey.
You better be nice, or we're not going to let your flesh tuberness back on stream again.
We're going to dedox you.
Riding that line.
My flesh... I'm going to tell our Costco princess about what you said. I still love that we ruined Yatra for that day.
I would argue that cross-dressing would depend on what is acceptable in your society. Because I think cross-dressing specifically requires there to be like a societal norm. I also think, even though we probably won't see it in our lifetime, that it's the same thing for GNC. If literally every single person in the world was being GNC, then GNC would not exist.
Yeah, it would just be normal.
Yeah.
It only has to exist as it is because
it's kind of like being punk.
Yeah.
There has to be something for you to be in opposition to in order for it to exist.
Yeah. So for those who do or do not know, for the lack of better words, cis is the norm. That's normal. There's nothing wrong with it because there's no such thing as normal. Technically, everybody's weird, but
I actually wonder if people would be more receptive to the phrasing of cis is the baseline.
Yes. That one. That's what I mean by, like, that is the status quo. Shining Tango.
Hi, Taiga. That's not actual Taiga, is it?
That's not a Bungo Taiga. Is it a Bungo Taiga? I'm checking.
No, that's not Bungo Taiga.
What does it say? Oh, no, it's Shining Taiga. I've seen them on Twitter.
I probably have. I actually know like 3 or 4 people called Taiga. Also, thank you for the follow.
So many people on Twitter named Taiga. Wow, not even shouting me out. I see what it is.
It's cute, Burb. I've always liked tomboys.
No, yeah.
I've never been like super huge
Scum, just make
into-
sure make sure you sleep standing up again. That's all.
I'm weird. I like all my men to dress like women, and I like all my women to dress like men.
I have a mix. I do like. My thing is
Sakura Tyson 5.
I don't know what that is. It's a soccer game. I don't play
Sakura
soccer
Tyson
games.
5.
I don't play soccer
She just said
games.
it.
I don't play soccer games.
I don't think that's the same Sakura, Royen. I think it's a different one.
Probably not. But my brain
Pretty sure
is
it's not the hentai Sakura.
my brain's working on overdrive right now.
Actually, there's still a possibility there's a hentai Sakura in this. Oh, it's by Nice.
I agree with that.
Oh, this is some throwback. This is like a really old anime style. She's on a cowboy with a katana.
DM me it? DM me, please.
Here, I'll put the specific one I found in the Discord because this is a great image. I love it so much.
Oh, this! Okay, I've seen this series in this art style. Never actually played it. That's far too obscure for even me.
Yeah. Like my men to dress like women only if they are ambush manly traps.
So ambush. So here's one thing. With that, wait, hold up. Men clothing. Right, the tomboy thing. Me usually says I like my men to dress feminine, my women to dress men. I like anything because I love characters like Simone and Kamina, obviously. But at the same time, Ladiva is like my favorite Gray and Blue character, despite the fact she is best girl, but she's like both the most manly and the most feminine at the same time. I need to grab more example. So Mizu, I need you to grab a few character profiles for later. I'll put them on these things next to them later.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can go through that, and I think
Yeah.
we should wait for the characters for when we try and do our little tier list.
Yeah, we'll get the chart ready. So, and that's drag. Drag is under processor and is usually tagged with, because a male to female trans and they aren't cross-dressing. They're just presenting their gender. They're not cross-dressing. That's the most important thing I need to explain as well. They're not the same because people are gonna freak out about that.
I'm mad that is referred to as the Reddit preference.
True. And then we have femboys over here.
Yeah.
And I put trap under femboys for a reason, personally.
I think Roy, after we talked about it earlier, Royan would probably agree to me that all traps are necessarily either like a femboy, but all femboys aren't necessarily a trap.
Yes.
Because the trap specifically requires you to be dressing as the opposite gender and trying to trick somebody into believing you are the opposite gender without necessarily wanting to be it.
So every femboy is a cross-dresser, but not. There you go. I'm trying to do my best to explain this the best I can.
We would consider it an umbrella term, yes. But as you could kind of see by the chart, there's a couple things that are more umbrella terms.
That
For,
don't
like,
umbrella
not-
under umbrellas.
Yeah. Well, also that don't necessarily umbrella over stuff that you think they would. So like male is technically an umbrella term for like the different types of males. Like twink, bear, otter, that kind of thing.
There we go. I had to move it over because for drawing reasons.
Fair.
I don't actually use this top part of the screen that often, actually, now that I think about it. It's actually very
When
rough
do you really
up there.
need it?
I sometimes do. Well, because I
Fair.
zoom in a lot when I'm drawing and stuff. So next we come over here. So then we have this. Then we have traps. I'm not going to write reverse trap. They're the same thing. They are the same thing.
We just use reverse trap so people know better like what you're talking about.
Yeah, but they are, for the record, there's no such thing. It's like there's no such thing as
Both are
reverse
trapped.
racism. It's the same thing.
The only time people really use reverse for stuff like trap and certain like hentai
For
terms
context.
is just so you know specifically what we're talking about, even though they're both technically mean the same thing.
And now here's something about traps, like we mentioned. We mentioned that we did say that. Oh my god, I have so many.
We believe trap requires intent.
So, a trap is usually a cross-dresser. But a cross-dresser is not always a trap. The same as
Femboy.
Femboy. And a femboy, a trap will always be a femboy, which is always a cross-dresser. But it's all about what kind of intent. And then not every, femboy is a trap. Oh, she's right for these.
Yeah.
Very important. So,
Also, just so we're all clear, Royen really wanted to draw, so
I really wanted to make this like as clear as possible because I had to make a diagram.
the drawing was Royen's suggestion.
We could have just talked about it, but I like having visuals. Plus, this makes a good This is the content.
Royen needs the extra help.
No, okay, so I tried to explain all this. The reason why this came about is because I tried to explain this to the best of my ability, going through each term in the best way possible to my my driving partner. We're in a truck for like I said, like 12 hours together, just chatting, and we got on this conversation.
Don't know, Royen is a gator trucker.
I'm a gator trucker. Y'all like to see my truck? Where's that stupid image of a truck I have? Melon.
Speaking of, you're gonna have to get like a little PNG of a truck to sit on when you start doing like phone streams on the road.
I'm not gonna be doing any phone streams. I'll be in people's things, but I'm hesitant at home. I actually should take the chance to actually install VTuber properly on my phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You can do little phone streams in your truck. There are YouTubers who do like trucker streams.
I know.
You could find a way to like hook up a camera to the front of the truck.
Oh, I already have a setup. I already have a setup for that. I already do.
Oh, thank you for the head pats.
Aw. For all those
Tyga, did you have something specific about the Twitter you wanted to mention? I forgot to ask. We kind of got off topic talking about the other Tygas.
What do you guys think of my truck? What do you think of my truck? Oh, if you're doing head pats, I can do head pats too. Here you go.
There you go.
Yeah, your head pats.
Head pat yourself.
Yeah, your head pats not showing up my stream. Oh, this would be kind of cool next time we stream. We'll be both of them.
Oh yeah, no, I got banned. I'm still appealing. They won't tell me why I was banned.
I love this. This is just a stupid thing, but I love it.
Are you gonna buy one?
I would buy this. I'm gonna buy this in real life. I'm gonna buy this.
You should.
I'm a child.
Aren't we all? That's why we pretend to be cartoon characters on the internet.
Right. So, alright, so that's that. So that's for the most part everything, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't think we had anything else.
And then these are not correlating whatsoever. No correlation.
Yeah, I think we kind of agree that Twink, Bear, and Otter are their own thing under male, and none of them would be considered GNC.
Yeah, like androgynous is the umbrella term for like GNC, by the way.
Like once you are a twink that is cross-dressing, you are now a femboy.
Oh, here's a good example.
Ruins the point.
Under GNC, we have androgynous, which is under both of these. It's mostly under cis actually, but twink would be under androgynous, by the way.
No, androgynous would be GNC.
Well, no,
androgynous is typically an intentional thing.
Well, if you're trying to dress, but some people like twinks, they're just so feminine naturally, but they're also androgynous. People can't tell. Androgynous is an adjective,
more
anyways.
like intent.
Yeah.
How would you consider intent?
Well, here's a good example. Leo from not Leo, but Venti. Venti's androgynous by default because the body took. He's not trying to be like feminine. He's not even like a feminine person.
No, that's why I would put androgynous under an intent thing, because if you just do androgynous just happens to be a look,
Well, I would say
then
androgyny
too much stuff
is intent.
fits as androgynous.
I say androgyny is intent, but androgynous is not. Because
Well, I mean, that's just a description at that point.
Yeah.
That's not a...
Yeah, that's why
These
I
other
didn't
things
put it
aren't necessarily descriptions. They're actually
Yeah.
states of being.
That's
I would
why I'm
say.
not putting it there. Because it would just be under basic G and C. All these would be over it. So I'm just going to leave it not there for the sake of sanity of us.
But androgynous would be under everything.
Yeah.
Because everyone can be androgynous.
Yeah, so I'm just going to leave it out. I'm not going to put it in. I was going to put it in, but I'd be connecting it to everything.
Yeah.
So, do we count non-binary under trans?
I think so.
I really don't want to get into like non-binary stuff. What's the acronym for non-binary?
You're not
right?
qualified to discuss it.
I have my best friend's non-binary, but I'm like, I don't get involved in that. I just call them, or just call them by their name. It makes my life easier. So, that's for the most part the list, the chart.
Yeah.
You have the tier list, right?
No.
We'd
have to I wouldn't be able to make it in time.
I mean, I can just manually do it.
Yeah, you got to do like a little thing on the chart.
I can make one.
I'm non-binary. I give you a pass. No, it's not necessarily that we think we can't talk about it. It's that we really don't know enough to give it like a good description.
Because we aren't. Because we aren't, and we don't care. Also, we don't. Let's be real. We don't look into it.
Yeah, it's nobody in our circle really is, or at least if they are, they're not very open about it.
Or in my friend's case, or in my friend's case, I just do not care. Yeah. I don't care enough to ask.
With everything else in that chart, we either know people like that, or we are in contact with people like that. So we have like a lot more experience with like their feelings and how they perceive themselves and their identity. With non-binary, we literally don't know dick. I had one non-binary friend, and I honestly don't believe they were. She had a lot of things that every week she was just something new, and she would swear to me that she had always been that, and it's like, you were something completely different last week, and it was just hard to explain to her.
Here's the problem. Why these tier lists are shit.
Well, that's why I said we couldn't really get one. So I was thinking you just put like little squares on the side, or maybe you'd do like a little 4-panel thing. Like, a little cross in the middle, and then we just put them in different sections.
Okay, I'll do that. You start giving me headshots, I'll start putting them in.
No, we're gonna look them up together. I don't know a bunch of character names.
I mean,
or if chat wants to give character names.
Chat, if you have character names and lists, please, because I'm gonna need these.
Because we're gonna start with the ones that were already there on the chart.
Yeah. Where's my line drawing tool?
All you gotta do is make a little square.
I was looking for something. What a mess.
Good to do ones we aren't familiar with. I think we are, and we can give our best guess.
Right. I remember how to do this.
A cross, not an X.
Like this?
Cross is up and down.
Oh, we're doing one of those charts. Okay.
Yeah, like you see on the tier list maker. But I went to the tier list maker, and you have to like set up a whole bunch of stuff ahead of time. I didn't realize that. Hi, Cole. Welcome to the stream. A keto from Air Gear.
Air Gear.
All
right, so how many levels of this do we need? So we have Femboy, Twink, Trap, and Cross. We got Femboy, Crossdresser, Twink, and Trap.
Yes. Also, thank you for the follow, Cole.
And these are not at all big. Because I feel like more characters are going to be in just cross-dressing than people think it is. Because traps are not all that popular. I can adjust these accordingly. I'll just make the better one.
No, we need it. We need one for trans too, for like
Oh,
actual
yeah.
trans characters.
Oh, you're right. That's why I was doing it small. Which people forget that list is actually pretty long.
Femboy, Twink, Trap. We can maybe skip Trap and just put them under Femboy because they do count as Femboys.
Yeah. All right.
And they only have 4.
I just made a chart. I'm stupid.
Well, what I was saying was a literal, just put a plus sign in the middle of the screen and have 4 big quadrants.
Yeah, this is why you're here. You're the smart one. I really should have made an actual square for my grid thing, but whatever. This is still off. I'm having a moment today. Whatever. Good enough. Okay.
Yep.
So
and then
I'll get the labels
Trap,
right away.
Not Trap. Femboy, Trans, Twink, Crossdress.
Boy, trans. No specific order. And Twink. And then cross.
Struggling, Royen.
No, I'm just trying to make it look.
Eggman Star Force has a character named Pat Spriggs.
Oh yeah, Pat.
Who I think is NB and JP, but was localized as male in EN. That said, I don't remember much of what I read about it, so IDK if that's legit. Also, this was the first suggestion. I'm including this because this is probably a better picture to have like on the chart.
Yeah.
Because it's small. But here is the character.
There we go. That's the picture and this is the character. I have to know, I haven't actually watched Air Gear. Have you?
Nope. So, it's Agito, or Lind Wenejima are the collective 3 distinctive personalities inhabiting one body. So canonically born male.
Wait, who are we starting with here? Which one was this? Okay.
Agito.
Where? Oh, you're reading the description of them, aren't you?
Yeah. So they were canonically born male, but they have 3 different personalities, and they are definitely effeminate.
So how do they refer to themselves? Is the question.
I believe refer themselves as male. I would probably file them under Twink. Like, I would put them in between Twink and Femboy, depending on personality.
For the sanity, we'll do crossdresser and old Twink because it's the correct one. It would be most.
Well, they're not cross-dressing.
I meant Twink.
Yeah. Are you taking any female to male trans? Because if so, I was thinking Striga from Castlevania. Not sure if she is trans, cross-dressing, or just androgynous.
Okay.
Striga, Castlevania.
Are we going? Okay, we should do this quick. We probably should make like a little submission form for this.
Oh, how do we go about that? People can just say it in the chat, though.
If you can keep track of it. Because like I'm just going down the list. I'll keep the list like unscrolled while you keep the while you read the new stuff. So after Agiko,
we can do this one.
We have Tiger and Ming from My Hero Academia.
Yeah, so we can do Tiger and Lily because both of those are just gimmies because they're already confirmed. Oh wait, that's a GIF. I don't want to send a GIF. So Lily,
Okay, so Lily, I mean, that's a complicated
I need to
issue.
sort this out so that stops popping up.
So Lily, Lily's a weird one, actually. I do know about Lily.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll get to Lily first while you do that. I gotta cut the image out anyways. So this isn't like anything like a diss on Lily as a character. Lily is a weird one because of how their story is.
I admittedly don't know much about Lily.
So like here's the problem with Lily. Lily could have, because of, you know, it comes down to your definition of what is a trans person.
Okay.
And that's the thing is. Lily can be, I usually agree with like, hey, put her in trans, it's fine. Because everyone likes Lily, it's good. She's a good character. But Lily's a weird one because she could also be seen as just having body dysphoria. Because she died. Like, Lily as the performer is a woman. Like, let's just be real here. They wish to be a woman at this point. But there can be stemming from body dysmorphia versus gender dysphoria. And that's like an issue. But I'm also in the case where I'm cool with Lily just being trans. Like, it's cool. It's just one of those things, like, it's a weird conversation. But for the sanity, everyone kind of universally agrees, yeah, she's fair being trans. Let's just leave her trans.
Well, I think there's a couple on here that are going to be difficult to, like, place. Lily would be one, because she's got a weird thing. Agito, the one we covered before, is literally split personality disorder, where some are male and some are female. And that's not, like, really easy to actually place into a specific category. Because that's really just, like, an anime-only thing. Or, like, a fantasy-only thing.
Yeah.
And then there's... I also put in Patrick.
That's my name.
Do you remember Patrick?
What's Star Force, right?
Star Force.
I never played the Star Force games.
Patrick is also in that split personality category. Because Patrick's star sign or whatever, I forget what they're called specifically, is Gemini, the like split one.
Yeah.
The twins.
I remember hearing about them.
A split personality, being like really nice sometimes and really evil sometimes. However, I would file him under Twink. The big thing is, I don't really think he's considered crossdresser. His outfit is typically
the uniform.
Well,
like a lot of characters.
Yeah, in Star Force Mega Man, because it's future and everybody wears a weird outfit, it's really hard to say any given outfit is male or female unless it's like outright a huge dress or a fancy suit.
Yeah. So we can put Twink. I think Twink's fine for that.
Yeah. He's a hard one to place. I don't recall I could be wrong because it's been a while. I don't recall there ever being any discussion about people confusing him for a woman necessarily.
And that's usually where like the Twink crossdresser and stuff, Femboy, come up.
Yeah. And because the big thing they were trying to do in the games with him is they were trying to do like are they a good guy or are they a bad guy thing?
Yeah.
Because in reality he was a bad guy, and they didn't really focus too much on the whole like gender identity thing.
Yeah. For the sanity of those people that say that, generally speaking, when it comes to like the NB and like where there are different translations, different names, I generally it's safer to put them in the Twink category because that Twink can be a guy or girl. Depending.
Yeah.
For the sanity of like, oh, if it's a trans woman, well, they can still technically be a Twink because they're body type. But for the sanity of like those weird translation issues, they're gonna go in there just for sanity, I'd say.
Yeah. There's this one that was suggested, Striga, which admittedly I know nothing about Castlevania, so.
Okay, but I believe they're actually just trans. Wait, let me check. Striga. Oh, Striga. Okay. Okay, so here's the problem with Striga. The art style from Castlevania makes it hard to tell.
Okay. Because is there like any specific confirmation? in Castlevania.
I haven't watched all the Castlevania anime just yet. I'm partly through it. It's good though.
Because it's kind of like it'd almost be like trying to pick out male or female in JoJo.
Yeah,
because there are like some very thin females and there are some really big men, but there's also a ton of people in JoJo who meet like that middle ground where you have no idea.
So for the sanity of it, Araki's art style, generally speaking, yeah, they do clear like with body, facial hair and stuff, but for the most part of the main cast, they're very hard to tell because Araki's art style is very androgynous by default. Once you understand how it works, you can tell which is a male or female, but generally speaking, their body posing and type, and it's all very similar. But generally speaking, even like the twinkiest males have some little bit of muscle there. You'll see it. Because they all wear clothes that just so they reveal parts of them. So usually a male has at least some form of abs.
Yeah.
Or they're like
that's how it is a bit with Striga, is everybody in Castlevania kind of looks like this really hard, chiseled character. Outside of a few.
But if anybody has any information on Striga, that's what Striga looks like, by the way.
Yeah. So would anybody like to make a suggestion that knows more about Castlevania?
Oh, right, for Castlevania.
Because I have no idea.
Okay, I pulled up the wiki.
Uh-huh.
That is a female, right?
Okay.
Striga is one of the 4 queens of Striga Council Sisters, leader of the vampires. She's a vampire.
Yep.
So it's very important to note. So that could just very much just be a female. That we don't know at that point because there's nothing really mentioned in the background. I don't think we can really do it because there's nothing about it.
We should put Striga in the bottom right in the literally just a woman category.
Oh, is that what we put the bottom right?
I think so.
Oh, I had
no, at like the very, very itty bitty bottom right.
Oh,
like
just make its own
super tiny little square.
Okay.
Literally just a woman.
Alright. Just a woman.
Well, because I wanted to make sure we had a little square or a little space for this, because we also have Shimikaze, who is often confused as a femboy because of specifically dojins. When Shimikaze is literally just a woman.
I think we should just have like the image of Shimikaze's face down there. As much as I have no issue using Striga. Let's just not put her there for the sanity of the. Okay. No, we appreciate the offer, the use of the character. I do appreciate that. I really do, but for the sanity of like, we don't know. There's not enough information on her.
Yeah.
If they're just a trans woman in the end, that's cool. But the issue is art style. What is wrong with me?
I'll get a Shimikaze real
Look,
quick.
I'm just saying, because the art style, that mustache looks normal. I drew. Do you see it? Do you see it?
Wait, here we go. Nah, that one's probably too sus to use.
Mizu, look at the stream, the Discord stream.
Here's your Shimikaze.
Yeah.
Why did you draw a mustache on Striga?
Okay, so that was kind of my point where because the art style you literally could not tell. That could just be a guy you would not know because it's Castlevania. Because a lot of Castlevania art from the original artist is also very androgynous. But that's fine. That's fine. Alright, yeah. Okay, we'll do Teddy first. I'll put Shikaze down. That's just a woman.
Alright, here's a better Shimikaze real quick.
Can you send me like yeah, that's a better one. You could have just sent me the original art.
I don't know. I'll find what I want to find.
Alright, yeah. Calm your tits. Calm your male penis.
Judge me and my choices.
Okay, for the record, Teddy is just is not even a cross-dresser. Teddy's just a twink. I know Teddy's a high schooler.
See, that's something that somebody would have to clarify for me because I don't know anything about Persona.
Okay, I am a Persona. I'm the Persona person here of the two of us. Teddy isn't human, first of all. They really aren't a femboy. They cross dress one time, but so does the main character Yosuke and Kanji.
Yeah.
So it's one of those situations where it's like, no, it is what it is. It was done as a funny scene in the show. All right, so.
Oh, so this is a thing I probably should have clarified earlier, but I think we'll go ahead and clarify it now. Is we are going to file characters who have cross-dressed under cross-dresser, even if it's not a normal thing they do.
Yeah, they have cross-dressed the singular time, but...
So, like, Link Gerudo outfit, cross-dress.
Well, no, but we agreed on him to get twink. He is a twink. Like, 90% of the time, 99% of the time, he is not cross-dressing.
Sinclair from Limbus Company? I actually played much of Limbus Company.
So I will do this, though, because of the sanity of how Teddy works. Control Z, please.
Oh, I remember this character, yeah.
So, Teddy... So, Teddy, I would put in the middle of these two categories.
Also, sorry, chat, you're about to get an ad. I can't stop that.
So, let's put Teddy here, by the way. You chose a very specific Persona 4 Arena Teddy, by the way.
Is that a problem with that?
No, I just kind of found it funny.
Oh, yeah, we can place Chihiro.
There you go. Make Teddy a bit smaller.
Okay, so this is the Sinclair.
That's a very androgynous person. So they're classified as female, right?
I will have to double check. Also, and here's our Chihiro.
Oh, would you grab Ladiva while you're at it?
My Ladiva. Is that not the...
Okay. Oh yeah, Jellyfish Princess. So I was gonna say we have Ladiva, and then we have someone like, I'm not gonna use Kag, because Kag is like a weird case. Kag does not like care about being called a guy.
Yeah.
Kag hates being called old. Despite Kag being a female at the time. But Kag is also an alchemist that just changes their gender at will.
So Sinclair is confirmed male. Probably would fit under twink.
Yeah. Mizu, how many people think we're gonna make mad by doing this?
I don't like to think about that.
Of our own group,
by the way.
Kurosuke.
I keep giving you pictures. You're just slow.
I'm good. No, I'm saving them. I'm saving them. Like Chihiro, I don't have to do anything with. Ladiva, I don't have to do anything with. Some of these I do cut out to make them smaller and fit better.
Teddy's middle. Should Agito also be middle? I think we keep Agito where they are.
Teddy is very specifically there because Teddy is a guy, like full on a guy. I'm talking like adulter guy. Like if he was an adult, he probably wouldn't look as young but because he only knows high school students as like his idea of what humans look like, he kind of looks like a high school student because of it.
Also, as we kind of hit earlier, it's weird with Agito because they are split personality, and it's hard to like put that in a specific category, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and plus a lot of cross-dressing characters do actually have like, despite people going, oh, they're just like, oh, like this. No, they have usually has like gender plays a part in their story. Like Chihiro, their entire thing is, hey, I wanted to be more masculine, but I was hiding because you know. There you go. Our lovely Chihiro's right there.
Our first femboy of the list.
Yeah. Teddy does have the one scene and does win the cross-dressing contest. But like I said, that's a joke, mostly. Because, you know. So we said we've confirmed that the one from Sinclair is a guy.
Yeah, Sinclair is a guy.
That's I'm putting that in Twink because that's a very feminine person. Where I think it's it's
Super androgynous.
Who's the other there's another one from Sinclair that's like that Sky always uses for their profile picture. Or Smallback, I don't know what you call them.
Do you mean the Sinclair that's like French or something?
Yeah.
Like there's not a easy one to pick up.
They're Hansel and Gretel. It was the two of them. But Gretel is like a cross-dresser.
I mean, if it is, it's probably this one. But there's not like a singular image for it. It's a combined image.
Yeah. By the way, for all that you don't know, Diva is a woman. It's a trans woman by complete default. Also a great one, too. Well-written character. Start off as a joke. Yeah, I think it might be these two. I don't remember. No, it's not these two. Different game. Whatever. Don't read it. Are these the same characters?
Focus, Ryan.
I'm doing as many of these as fast as I can.
And then the brown-haired guy is Kurosuke from Princess Jellyfish.
Yeah.
Quick. Which I don't know anything about Princess Jellyfish.
Would you grab the wiki
for Kurosuke?
Yeah. Yeah. Unless it's been confirmed that they are a cross-dresser / dress.
Cross-dressing son of the wealthy and political Kobayuchi family.
So what's the reason for cross-dressing?
Cross-dresser to the chagrin of his family. Unlike the rest of his family, he does not find politics interesting at all and desires to get into fashion.
He's a femboy.
Sounds like he's kind of drag.
We'll leave that in cross-dressing then. Because they don't... Well, that could also be under femboy. Because Hidari is...
cross-dressing.
Alright. Because that means Hidari is under cross-dresser too.
Yeah.
Because Hidari is just doing it to spite their parents. Yeah, I can leave them in cross-dresser then.
Because I think the difference between like femboy and cross-dresser is femboy is a consistent like way of life. Like Chihiro always looks like that, pretty much.
That's fair. Okay, like Astolfo would be in that category.
Whereas a cross-dresser is just kind of like... It does.
Oh, he does hide his gender from the main character for a while. Now, Mizu, that actually does change a lot, though.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily make that as a trap unless he's trying to get in his pants.
Well, I would say, yeah, you're right. That's fair.
Well, because there's the thing, because you have to do the difference between, like, Astolfo hides the fact that he's male because he finds it funny.
So he's an asshole.
There's a lot of people who are like femboys who hide their gender, not because they're trying to trap anybody, but because they're afraid of the reaction. I don't consider that a trap. They're not trying to trap someone. They're more just scared of being themselves.
Yeah.
Which would be, what's his name from Steins Gate?
Well, they were weird too, because they just wanted to be the Okabe.
Steins Gate is hard. So everybody always wants to point to that one femboy / trans woman from Steins Gate as being specifically trans rep, but they literally, their entire gender identity changes depending on what timeline you're in.
Well, it's also because I was having this conversation with my Ruka.
Yes.
Well, Ruka's whole thing is they just want to be with Okabe, and that's the one consistency in everything. Because when they are, I'm a female in this realm, I still can't be with Okabe because Okabe doesn't love me back. That was their main reason why in the correct timeline, the good timeline, the canonical one of the good ending, I believe, when they are still male, they do realize they just want to be with Okabe, but they can't be with him, the main character. Which
is why I personally would file Ruka under either femboy or crossdresser.
We'll do femboy because they are exclusively cross. The entire time you see them, you do see them cross-dressing.
Yeah, my reasoning being is that they don't necessarily have a deep attachment to their gender. And I think in order to be trans, you have to have some kind of attachment to the gender identity itself, rather than just like what you are. Which is why I would both consider Cagliostro as not trans because they don't particularly have an attachment.
That's just a woman right there. That's just a woman for now.
For now, it's just a woman. But I also think we could say they don't necessarily have an attachment to their gender. They don't really care.
Well, the thing about CAG is CAG is incredibly superficial.
Yes.
People forget that CAG is not really the rep they want. Really don't know why they keep choosing the reps they rep the worst possible reps they can ever get.
Yeah.
Why do you all pick the worst characters? Like, because the thing is, people like to cite one line on a stealth CAG going, call me Uncle CAG again, and I'll feed you to Ouroboros. But in the actual plot line of that, in the story of it, the context of it, CAG, the second they say that, and they get mad at Clarice, their little great niece, they get mad and they sit there and think, wow, I've really been along for a long time. Not about, oh, how dare they call me a man. No, it's, I've been alive for so long. Because they're like 500 years old. And they're the founder of alchemy.
Yep.
And everyone goes, oh, but they made their first body a female. Yes, they based it off their healthy sister. Because they were a sickly young boy. It's like, come on now.
Hey, Royen, you're getting off track.
I'm always off track. I'm always unhinged.
Anyways, I sent you another one.
That's from Assassin's Classroom. I'm just going to classify that one as Twink.
Yes. So,
I don't remember his name, but I know he's Twink.
Would you pop it up? It's Nagisa.
Nagisa, that was his name.
Also, I will never get over the fact that if you type in ass class into Google, the first thing that pops up is Assassination Classroom and not hentai. Even Google knows what ass class means.
Ass class.
But for those of you who don't know, the guy from Ass Class is, first off, a guy, for sure. And second off, doesn't even like cross-dressing. His mother just really wants him to. Which is why I wouldn't really file him under cross-dresser either, because it's not something he does of his own volition. He's kind of forced into it. He's not a femboy because he doesn't like being feminine. He is staunchly identified as male and would prefer to dress as male. Just is very unfortunately Twinkie.
And, abusive parent.
Yes.
I would classify that. I would classify that as abuse. I love your eyes. Just go wide. It's great.
I can do all kinds of things with my eyes. Here's another one. The one that was suggested in the chat.
Oh, yes, this character. I know they're a male.
Katsu from Inuyasha.
I do know they are a male. But I think they love, I think, Inuyasha specifically. Or one of the male characters. They just are in love with them.
Very Twinkie, apparently.
Yeah, they're very effeminate. They're kind of like, not Okabe, but Ruka. If I'm correct.
Would we classify this under Femboy?
Who? Josuke? Josuke?
The one we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm double checking because I'm trying to remember something exactly. Yeah, the Band of the Seven with the whip to fight like Sora is blatantly a homosexual who is spitting for the Inuyasha. Okay. I believe it's safe to, at a minimum, leave him under crossdresser. But I do believe he also doubles up as... No, it's safe to put him under Femboy. It's safe to put him under Femboy. Because
that's what I was thinking.
He does get upset when he does. Yeah, he's annoyed with the other feminine characters. The standard, like the evil femboy trope. He specifically doesn't like the female characters, despite being, because he's gay. First of all, then it's like, how dare you be a woman better than me? Yeah. I'm putting him under because he's not even trying to trick. I actually guess he would have been in a trap category. So I'll put him under Femboy.
After this one, I have a difficult one for you.
All right. What if it's not difficult though?
I think it's difficult.
All right. Hey, it's our second actual Femboy.
All right. So I'm not even gonna tell you the name. I'm gonna see if you just know it. Because you should know it.
I see it all now. Oh yeah, Haku is a twink.
You'd put Haku under twink?
Oh yeah. At worst, crossdresser, because they're wearing like just a standard like very neutral, very gender neutral notion normally. And then their outfit, they explicitly say, yeah, I'm a guy, by the way. When the Naruto's like, wait, what? Yeah, Haku. Because Haku wears generally pretty neutral clothing because their ninja gear is very neutral. Because even in the world of Naruto, people have, like, Naruto's a jumpsuit. Let's be real here for a second. Like, looking at, everyone likes to use the one scene where they're wearing, like, what they assume is a kimono, but that's just feudal, like, that era is kind of, like, feudal Japan's kind of outfit for people. Like, they wear those kind of robes and stuff.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it is Haku. I'm going to grab the image.
I will disappoint you, Pocky, on Rolo. So the problem with Code Geass is the art style is really particular. So everybody kind of looks like a twink. Like there's contextually certain characters are definitely more twinkish than others, but because of the way the anime is styled, every male in that kind of comes off looking like a twink. In my personal opinion.
Right there. Yeah. That's like let's say that was like the Castlevania issue where like art style is a major issue.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a good picture for this one. It's not like overkill. Somebody might need to assist with this one though, because I'm not particularly big on Black Butler. But there you go. That should be a decent enough one.
Oh, from Black Butler.
Grell.
Grell, I believe we can classify as a crossdresser.
Grell is a Grim Reaper. This has it listed as she.
Oh wait, Grell's weird. Like I said, I think Grell might be trans actually.
Grell is an outspoken, flamboyant individual who unreservedly expresses herself and her desires. She possesses a strong predilection for the color red, and she believes can be used to achieve beauty. I don't know. They almost make it sound like they're trans to a degree.
That's what I was saying. I think they are because they. Okay, so. No, I think they are trans due to their history. When Angosdales begins murdering pregnant prostitutes as Jack the Ripper and constantly filling up the soul retrieval list, Grell followed her and took an interest in her. She sympathized with her since she could relate to her troubles and the inability to give birth, and decides to assist her, defying the Grim Reaper code of neutrality. Grell disguised herself as a brunette's family butler to avoid suspicion.
There's also the fact that Grell still looks very, like, somewhat masculine in their outfit, but their bio specifically says they have, like, a pursuit of beauty and being beautiful. That's typically more associated with either femboys or trans.
I'm safe
and
to
since
say
they're referred to as a she, I would say that would classify as trans.
I'm okay with leaving them in trans. That's fine. There's nothing. I think that's a safe one to say.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any specific like mentioning to them being like male at birth. However, all the descriptions I'm finding, I'm heavily leaning probably trans.
Oh wait, for those who don't know, Grell is this.
Well, they're gonna be on the chart.
Oh, yeah, I'm making sure they can see him as I clean it up.
I had another person I wanted to like go ahead and put on, but I think I got lost because I didn't type them in.
We'll grab Astolfo since it's easy.
Oh yeah, Astolfo's Femboy.
Astolfo, Venti, just any from like they're from Grucia.
The ones from the chart.
Yeah, naturally. You're at the chart. You know the ones to grab. So for the Sandy, we can leave them in trans. They could be either way, but for the Sandy, like I believe, I don't trust wikis most entirely because let's be real, we all know what
They
happened.
can be written by anybody and anybody can edit them.
Yeah, but for the most part, we look at all the context. But like I said, we'll leave them there. Yeah, Grushia from Pokemon, we've agreed, is just a twink. They're wearing a sea gear, and that's, you know.
I am actually a little bit on the fence with Twink.
I would say we do have to put him in twink. The only thing is because they
Well, the thing is, I feel like people turned him into Twink. I don't even think necessarily he would be considered a twink in person, because we just really don't see much of Grusha. It's all covered up by like gear.
Yeah, air gear.
God, there's some really hot Grusha art.
Hey, wouldn't it be funny if we just like shoved Astolfo and trans to fuck with people?
Like, you do you, bro.
Why am I an asshole?
You know what? I'm gonna use fan art for Grusha because I can't find like any good screen caps of him.
Because the game is just shit. And we agreed on Twink for Venti, right?
Yes.
Even though like they're weird because they're age, perceived age.
Yes. Oh, you're my hero. My hero is hard to place exactly.
Hero? Myself.
From Onimai?
Yeah. My hero is a gender bent anime. They don't identify as woman. They're a guy, like full on, but they're just gender bent.
Yeah, but that's the problem. When there's like a gender bend thing, it's because we brought this up earlier with Cagliostro. It's really hard when it's like a full gender bend and the character themselves was not like super invested in that bend. Like, it's one thing if they really wanted to be a woman and then they became one. It's another thing when they're just kind of there and it just happened. Yeah. Which is kind of the case at Onimai. They were drugged into it and they weren't like super invested.
For the sanity of like, once again, let's just not use them.
Yeah.
And if people really want to go, oh, what about Onimai? Like, it's a gender bent issue. And generally speaking, I wouldn't even call them a femboy either. Like, they were very happily with male. I think people are going to realize that Twink's getting filled up really fast.
Yeah.
And it's kind of becoming a problem.
Kiel from Ruin Factory 4. That's another one where I think it's hard to place because of the art style. Ruin Factory has an art style where everyone looks very, very young. Because it's meant to be like really cutesy and really like kind of child-friendly looking.
I know the most. I have a very big friend that's very into Ruin Factory.
Isn't there somebody in whatchamacallit, Kill la Kill that's a cross-dresser?
No.
I thought there was.
No, I don't think there is. I'm thinking in my brain. There is one in Gurren Lagann. There is one in Gurren Lagann. There's very effeminate men in Gurren Lagann. No, I don't think there is one in Kill la Kill. Well, for the sanity of the Bridget discourse, we do leave them in trans, even though it's a dumb retcon. It is a retcon. Whether you like it or not, it is a retcon. Like, we had talked about it earlier a bit more, but in short, TLDR.
On the list, though.
What?
We do need to put Bridget in the chart, though.
I'm putting them between trans and femboy, by the way, because we're gonna start fights.
There you go.
We're gonna start fights with this.
No, you're gonna start a fight. I keep hitting the mute for some reason. You know, we're just gonna move you over here so we stop hitting mute.
I can't wait to piss off half the people my follow list. Then again, I'm also never.
You can make it this point.
Yeah, it's old Bridget is a they're cross-dresser, not even like a femboy. Because that's the thing about Bridget. Bridget was played straight. Always played straight. With exception of Johnny.
People are always more obsessed with the idea that Bridget would eventually be a femboy, where they would come out and be like, I'm happy like being effeminate but still identifying as male.
There, one big old Bridget right there. Everyone's gonna see it.
It's actually hard to think about because there's really not as many femboys as people like to think.
There really aren't.
People really just kind of. Ooh, would you guys like some fun news? So Vebe and Silvervale are leaving VShojo.
Really?
Yep, they are not renewing their contracts.
I wonder why. I can guess why Silvervale is.
They just posted it 17 minutes ago.
We should get more of the popular characters real quick just to get them out of here. Just to fill out the crossdresser list. Can you grab Hidari from Blend S? I would put them in the crossdressing category. Because they're not living the life of being a female, but they are doing the performative of basically drag.
Yeah.
I mean, Sky is going to lose his shit when I post this.
Because of Hidari?
No, he's going to lose it over Bridget.
Oh.
Because he hates literally... I think he might actually be transphobic. Just straight up.
What I've told this to some people is I think some of my friends probably have become like a little transphobic over time.
Yeah, some people bring it too far. I'm like, guys, look. You don't have to like this. But as much as I dislike it... Yeah.
I have seen Ota from AI Somnian Files. I actually saw the reveal of that at Anime Expo one year. I will show it to Roy. I do not believe he's a twink. I am confident in saying he's not.
Isn't there someone from AI Somnian that's actually cross-dressing?
Maybe.
No, there is. Am I thinking of a different game?
I'll look it up.
No, it's that famous one where the localization changed it from being non-binary to...
But yeah, I sent you the picture of Oda, and you can tell me if you agree with me or not that not twink.
That's not twink.
Yeah, I think...
That's a main character from a shonen anime.
Yeah.
I'll die on that hill.
I was pretty confident when I saw him that
we have to remember something. Hideyoshi has their own gender. Hideyoshi is Hideyoshi. But for the lack of better words, Hideyoshi would just be in twink. But they're constantly put in cross-dressing because it's a comedy anime. They don't cross-dress because they want to. They are literally forced into it. Would you put Hideyoshi as a cross-dresser then? Just for sanity? Because his sister is more...
I'd probably put him under crossdresser then.
Yeah, Hideyoshi would be under crossdresser despite Hideyoshi being Hideyoshi.
He would be crossdresser or twink.
Yeah, I put him in crossdresser for sanity because he's almost always crossdressing. I haven't read JoJo Lands, but
Trigona Joestar? Is this gonna be a trans girl?
Maybe. I need to finish. Wait, I'm checking.
No, it'd be a trans man actually.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is the new one.
They're a gangster in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's the new one. Yeah, they're trans men. We'll just put them in trans.
Their gender is listed as unknown on the wiki.
That's fair. I think it's because it's early enough on in the series.
Dragona is referred to as Big Brother by the protagonist, but in Japanese they use the feminine first-person pronouns. Without an official source, any discussion about the character's gender would ultimately be speculative.
I would say for the sanity of we don't... Yeah, they does mention that the breasts are implants. I will say for sanity, because JoJo is weird. JoJo is okay with doing stuff like that. They would put him in trans.
The problem is the fact that they mention they are a gangster, and JoJo is kind of taking a lot more inspiration from American things.
Yeah.
It's highly likely they're using Big Brother in more like the mafia family.
Like Anki.
Yeah. it's more like a mafia family thing than like an actual literally you are my older brother.
Because we already have that issue with what's her name in One Piece.
But like this does agree, that's still speculative either way because we don't know if they intend it to be like a mafia big brother or if they intend it to be like they're misgendering them and they're trying to be trans, which would see if they were, because JoJo is actually very gay. It would be very odd for them to have characters constantly misgender somebody in JoJo. So I'm very tempted to say they're saying Big Brother in Mafia terms.
Oh, by the way, we have to log into
I don't see JoJo
Strikers.
like really doing that.
Make sure you log into Omega Strikers. You get a free cat girl schoolgirl outfit.
I know for the
Yeah.
VTuber one, the one that everybody called the VTuber one.
Yeah. Yeah, for like I said, for the sanity of like, I would say we don't put them in just yet because it's still
We're open to the possibility.
I'm
but it
okay
is
with
too
them being in,
speculative.
yeah, we're okay with them being in the trans category, but it's too early on in the series where someone like Lily's entire series is done despite it being a little weird, but we're okay with leaving them in the trans category.
Yeah,
It's
hi
fine.
Fullinen. What's up? We're making charts. Thank you for the care package. We do a little stretchy stretch and a little sippy sip.
Oh, I'll do my
And the head pats, obviously.
There we go. Double head pats. Oh, you leave your head pats on for short. Mine go for 5 minutes.
Well, I want people to be able to use them if they want to.
Yeah, it's a game in mine where people may try to maintain the head pats forever.
But yeah, I think we're gonna put Dragona in the mystery category for now and just leave them off.
All right. You have a Hidari in there. A Hideyoshi, right?
I can put you a Hideyoshi.
Yeah, they're going in crossdresser for. They're almost always crossdressing, even if it's against their will. And it's actually a joke. The point where like, well, aren't you just gonna bring Hideyoshi in your room? No, Hideyoshi gets his own dress room. But he is a guy. Like, let's be real. The meme is there, but although he did win third best woman in like 3 different competitions.
You're my ignorance, but what is a twink? A twink is mostly a gay
I had the
term.
chart.
However, it has become a more widespread term. A twink is a male that's fairly effeminate, but not necessarily by his own choice. Generally not much hair, generally very slim and very slim build, very small. But it's kind of expanded. It used to just mean a gay male that was very slim and very like small and cute. But it's kind of become more of a general term for smaller guys.
What is it?
Our clarification is, whereas a twink
fuck?
kind of has the physique of a femboy to a degree, they don't necessarily want to dress or act like a woman. And if they do dress or act like a woman, it is unintentional or against their will.
Which is why we have someone like what's their name?
We have Agassi from Ass Class on there, who is forced to dress and act feminine by his mother, is completely against his choice. Femboy that's not trying, technically. But I think our thing is we believe a femboy has to try in order to be a femboy.
That's why I don't count Hidari as a femboy, despite the fact they're not trying to be like a woman. They're working at the Maze Cafe because their parents don't want them to do it, like stuff like that. Like they're doing it despite their parents' will.
So you can be a crossdresser and not be in any category because it's literally just wearing the clothes of the other gender. Femboy, we believe, requires intent. You're trying to be feminine and you're trying to be dress and act more like a girl. And then twink is just kind of how you're born. You're just kind of born a twink. Sucks to be you if you don't like it. We're also taking suggestions for us to classify people. And then we have the trans category up in the right because we believe it is just the right thing to do to have the trans category. Oh,
Even yeah,
I can fuck you up.
I know.
Although if you know who they are, you might know.
I mean, I do know enough. I do know a good chunk of characters in general, even if I don't know. Like, I haven't seen their show or watched their anime.
This one actually might be legitimately difficult for even me to place, just because of the art style of this show. Despite the fact that there's
That's a woman.
like
That's a cis woman.
yeah.
No, that is actually just a cis woman. It's a werewolf. That's not even
Not a
like that's
werewolf.
just a woman. She's a werewolf. No, she's a werewolf.
Oh,
She's a Nazi werewolf.
they're human. There's only one werewolf in hell.
Oh right, it's that one guy. Right. I forgot.
He's
Like,
actually like a big burly dude.
look, as someone that read that manga before I watched the anime, that manga is very confusing. It's very hard to categorize stuff. The anime cleared up so much for me. But no, that Van Winkle's a woman. She's just
They'd
a
be a
regular woman.
cross-dresser.
Well, no. In this situation, because they're like special ops, it's just the style of the show. It's not even like cross-dressing for a female cross-dresser. It's just a woman.
No, because they have women wear like feminine outfits. She very specifically wears a very masculine suit.
By that
and
default,
is one of
what's her
the
name?
only quote-unquote women in the show who is completely flat-chested.
By that default,
Every
though,
other woman has visible breasts, even Sir Integra.
well, Sir Integra would also be classified as a crossdresser because she wears a suit a very manly, masculine suit almost exclusively.
That's why I think it's weird with Rip Van Winkle, because Rip Van Winkle is the only
I would put her in
female
just
in the
a female.
show
I would just
who
put her in the
is
female
completely
category.
flat-chested.
I wouldn't even put her in like the crossdresser category. I'd just put her in just the female category. She's very openly a woman. Like, it's not even like no one questions it. No, now mind you, the dog boy, the dog, I think it's the dog boy, the weird one that traps Alucard. That one's a twink. That one is a twink. There is a twink in that show.
Schrodinger
Yeah, Schrodinger.
is Schrodinger's cat.
Yes, he is very much a twink. Because he is meant to be, is he not, or is he? He's 100% choice, yes or no. Did you just make a post on Twitter?
There you go. No? Why would I have? Why?
I don't know why, it's just all...
I mean, when we started, I made the post like we're starting. Here's the link.
No, just one of your posts just randomly showed up. Yeah. Schrodinger, that's a twink. We don't know. They're meant to be as judges as they get. So yeah.
Oh, here. We can put
Better.
Schrodinger in if you want, but we are also filling up twinks.
Yeah, twink. I told you
Well,
twinks.
this one isn't. I'll send this one to Royen, but I'm pretty sure this one is just straight trans, aren't they? This one from One Piece.
Who's that again? That's not
Kiku
Yamato.
Onajo.
I do not remember. I know Yamato has the issue where people keep trying to say she's trans, but that one's false. That one might actually be trans.
Yeah, I know that was the thing that people would bring up, is there are actual trans characters in One Piece, just not the one that everyone wants to be trans.
Well, that's how it always is, though, so.
I was... Maybe like somebody who knows more about One Piece can clarify.
I haven't
I
gotten to that point in One Piece yet.
100% sure I believe she was an actual trans woman.
Uh,
She's the one that always came up when people would say that Oda's a trans woman. Is that her name?
Yamato.
Yamato. People would say Yamato is a trans woman, and then people would say no, there are actual trans women. Here's one of them. Fullenin says she is.
Okay, I will believe Fullenin. We'll put him in trans because just for I don't know. I haven't read that far in One Piece yet. One Piece is long. All right, I put Schrodinger in there.
Alice from Failed Knight.
I'm trying to think
I
of any other.
recognize that school uniform. Isn't it Chivalry of a Failed Knight is like the full name of it? Or am I missing? Or am I thinking of like a completely different show? But this is the one suggested. Who is... Yeah, Chivalry of a Failed Knight, who is trans. Look, we need less twinks, and we need more femboys and crossdressers.
Almost like there's not as many as people think there are.
Yamato is the hype dieter of Kaido, who is such a fangirl of the dude that she begins to identify as a man.
Didn't even identify as a man. Just called
You know,
herself that.
here, I'll put this question to you and wonder what you would think.
I don't know what the fuck this
We
character
agree
is.
Yamato is not trans because she is literally just like a
woman.
huge fangirl of.
She's a Westaboo.
Yeah, she's the Westaboo.
She's an Otaboo.
But
She's an Otaboo.
but
she's a boo.
well, no, because it's weird because with her it's literally just the identity, right? Because she still dresses like a girl.
Yeah.
So you can't really even put her under like tomboy. Well, I mean, she would be a tomboy, but you can't put her like clothing options under tomboy.
You can't classify a character in the world of One Piece as it's hard to classify tomboys because by that default, Nami is a tomboy, who's actually more tomboy than like more people in the cast. At least early on.
To be fair, she kind of is.
Well, early on she is. Now she's much more feminine.
Yeah. Kiyo is trans. She identifies female because she's a girl at heart. Her brother could show up here, I guess. Yamato is confused Japanese as far as I've seen on Twitter. A little bit.
But the problem is almost all the official material for Yamato is saying woman.
Yeah.
Like, we're just official material, even if it's done by like the company, it is saying woman. Oda has never come out and said, yeah, that's a man.
So I will make this bold statement. I almost exclusively think the confusion around Yamato is around our perception in like the public eye and has absolutely nothing to do with his intent. Because I believe if Yamato had been made years ago, everyone would have agreed super fangirl and it wouldn't have gone farther than that.
It is exclusively our lens of the current world.
Yeah, I legitimately think it is just the way we see things nowadays that is making us question what his intent is.
Yeah.
Big would not consider early Nami tomboy. He will fight you.
All right, Big, I have the power to time you out here. Do not try me. Do not try my power tonight.
I have given Royen mod powers, I'm pretty sure.
That's a dangerous maneuver you've done. No, early tomboy by like Oda drawing standards and how they act. Obviously they're doing it for a reason, but a lot of people that are like in like these shows that are, like defy standard gender norms, they aren't doing it because they really want to be. They're doing it because, let's be real, life fucking
Necessity.
sucks. Also, you're a pirate. By default, you are more active. Like, there are the more feminine pirates. Like, even Boa, who is a very feminine pirate, would be classified as a tomboy by default standards of white people.
For some reason, I always thought Boa, like her name was a sex joke.
Bonnie's word. She's a boa constrictor.
I know, but I always thought like her name was a sex joke because it's Boa Hancock.
You're right, this isn't Story of Seasons. This is the Chaos stream.
Hey Jason, what's up? We're discussing the difference between femboys, twinks, cross-dressers, and trans women.
But yeah, I wouldn't even put Nami in like, yeah, but we're not gonna get into like the whole tomboy debate right now.
Oh, you suck. It's the angel from Interspecies Reviewers.
They classify as female. They're just angels.
No, they would be both.
No, they exclusively are female. They're only doing it to they only claim that they're a guide so that they don't get like either hunted or whatever, because they are fallen angel after all.
Yeah,
they're doing it to travel. They are female. They are female.
See, I think it depends on like your perception of it, because I perceive it more as they're not saying they're a guy for that reason, so people don't find out they're a girl. They're saying they're a guy. So that's just the first thing they went with, because the two main characters assumed they were a guy. Yeah, in reality they're both, and they would rather not have that fact out.
The correct statements they would be is intersex, but for the same, but they do generally.
It wouldn't be intersex; it'd be hermaphrodite. Is the difference between intersex and hermaphrodite?
Yes,
that's a completely different discussion for another day, which I have an entire chart for myself.
Yeah, you can make your own chart for that. I'm not getting involved in that one.
No, Crimvale would be considered what's called a true hermaphrodite, which is
both genitalia work perfectly.
Yes, true hermaphrodite is they have both genitalia, they both work to the specifications they're supposed to. Although I don't know if angels can get pregnant.
Well, that doesn't matter. Both the genitalia do work, though. Technically correct.
Well, that's the thing about true hermaphrodism is you're supposed to also have the womb.
Yeah, the problem with Crim is also angels are once again a problem. They're like Link. Oh, get me a picture of Link. We're putting him in Twink already. I'm so tired of this shit. I'm so tired. He needs to go in there. We forgot to put him in. By the way, the reason why we put Teddy on the line is exclusively because he doubles up as he has cross-dressed and won the cross-dressing, and he didn't mind doing it. He had no issue. But because he's in the category of he's like the rest of the Persona cast, they're teenagers.
There you go.
Why do you have to use like the worst one?
What about this one?
Can you just get me like a cutout so I don't have to like cut this out? Because I'm running out of space in Twink. All right, we're running out of space.
You could have done what I was thinking and just made like little squares line by like side by side. But no, you had to do it all fancy.
I want it fancy.
That's on your fault.
All right, we're getting like the very.
You chose to do it this way.
Oh my god.
Here's an easy cutout for you.
You couldn't just go all grab all official art for these. No, it's fine.
No.
The other one works too.
You didn't use the Lily meme for this? I honestly don't know what you're talking about. We just used Lily.
We don't.
There's a meme I should know about.
It's the Lily holding a gun. It's dumb. I don't like fucking. I really hate how trans people do that. That trans can be like, oh, give them a gun. They're violent now. I'm like, why? Why you gotta make them violent?
Oh, the zombie Lily holding the gun. I found it. Oh no, I found the right one you're talking about. I remember seeing this one a ton. I'll send it to Royen. That is the one I'm thinking about, right?
Yeah.
Or they're thinking about.
So hi, Big. How are you? Okay. God, yeah, just leave link.
It made news. Yeah, it did make news. Well, I had like stuff around it.
All right, right under Venti. Venti's hidden back there, but we got Link crawling in the corner here.
Here, I will pass this one to Royen. I don't know anything about this character.
I might.
Neferpito from Hunter x Hunter. Their gender on the wiki is listed as unknown.
I'm gonna leave them off this category because I don't think they actually mention it. I don't think they're human entirely.
So I think there's characters that there is no answer necessarily. So like we put Schrodinger under Twink. Schrodinger is probably no answer, and that's by design.
But I think he does refer to himself as he is sometimes.
Yeah. Neferpito, from what I'm seeing, probably also falls under that. And so does the pink-haired doll from Seven Deadly Sins.
Even though they regularly refer to themselves as guys. But yeah, they don't, because the doll isn't human. It doesn't have a gender. It's like what's his name from like Apex, where he's a robot. Despite him, Pathfinder. That was it.
He's referred to as male, but he literally has no gender.
Yeah, they don't. It's very specific. So I only put Schrodinger there because he does. But for the most part, characters like him would just function under Twink or just fuck me, androgynous. That would be.
They generally go under androgynous.
Yeah, but for the sanity of like, we don't know. It's dumb.
Well, and typically they're not very attached. They're also the thing where they're not attached to their gender either.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times they'll refer to themselves as either male or female just so people know how to refer to them, and it's easier to refer in show. But a lot of times when people ask like what their sex is, they'll be like, I don't care. Or they'll say they don't know or they're unsure. It doesn't matter.
That's actually something important for people to know. Generally speaking, when it comes to like femboys and cross-dressing characters, gender is, and even I guess trans sometimes, the gender is very important to their plot. Like Astolfo is very important. Chihiro is very important. Not so much for the one Inuyasha character, but
Hirota Sam.
But his sexuality is in check. Hideyoshi is always put in a cross-dressing situation. I had to forget the character's name there. Hidari is doing it to say fuck it, my parents. Where someone like Haku just is like that. They're very androgynous. They're just naturally twinkish, and they're wearing more traditional Japanese clothing. It just happens to be a little flowery. But then again, they're mercenaries and don't have like everything they want. So it might have just been an outfit like, that's a nice outfit, I'll take it. Because their ninja gear is very androgynous. Because they're in the snow.
I feel it's hard to explain why there's not as many femboys in the anime as people seem to think. I think it's easier to explain with cross-dressers. Because generally if a character is cross-dressing, they are either trans and they're trying to show like a more kind of down-to-earth representation of a trans person, like Ladiva. or they're already a twink, and they just happen to cross dress every once in a while. It's very rare to have like a cross dresser who doesn't fit another category very easily.
Right.
Because it's just an action. It's not necessarily a lifestyle outside of people who regularly do drag. Like the one character we have from the brown-haired guy, like close to the center.
Yeah.
Who literally does it as like a lifestyle, but he doesn't want to be a woman. He likes fashion and drag.
It would be drag, yeah.
Yeah, it's very rare to find a cross-dressing character that regularly cross-dresses.
For the once again, for the sake of all of these arguments, we're using drag and cross-dressing for the most part is the same thing.
Yeah.
Even though they are different, but for the most part, because you can be a trans drag queen or drag king, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, from Air Gear we put them in there just because it's a good choice. We tried to get obscure ones and popular ones, just mix it up. That's why I'm like, Twink is getting full. It's becoming a problem.
I think the only reason we even have crossdresser as another category is because there are characters in anime that specifically their identity, as far as the show is concerned, as the one who crossdresses.
Yeah.
As opposed to specifically being trans or a twink.
What's that one anime where they're in the prison? Because that's just a twink.
Prison School?
No, the one where you showed me. Yeah, Nimbaka. Because he's just a twink. He's not a femboy.
Probably mean Nico.
Yeah, Nico. Nico is just a femboy. I mean, a twink, right? He isn't cross.
Yes.
Well, they're also wearing pizzas. They're also wearing prison clothing, so
Oh, so I got one for you.
All right, shoot me.
Because it's also from Nimbaka, but I don't believe we actually got to this episode when we were watching.
The only character where the position matters is Teddy, because Teddy is a very strange case. Because you don't experience enough of Teddy as a human exploring being a human that much.
Here's the headshot for them.
Oh yeah, by the way, we put
Is there not a full body picture of them?
I've stopped using my drawing tablet. Yeah, we put just a woman. Because that stupid fucking meme that they tried to make to, you have all these femboys, when in reality 3 characters were on that chart were actual femboy. Yeah. By the way, this is the other half of the chart we did.
Dude, that was the explanation, Poison.
Yeah. By the way, this will all be up on YouTube. Hopefully I can get Lightning to cut down the extra fluff, but Lightning, when you see this...
positions on this matter. Do you mean where they are in their space? The only one it matters for is the guy in the center of Twink and Crossdresser.
It's Teddy.
Yeah. Because very, very special niche case. Also, I sent you another one, which is Hitachi. From Nimbaka. Or sorry, Hitoshi.
No, that's a crossdresser, minimum. But do they always dress feminine, right?
Yes, but they do actively identify as male.
Crossdresser.
I would put them under Femboy.
No, even Femboys, you're right. They do identify as male. It's just, we're going to put him under Femboy. You're right.
Yeah, I would put him as Femboy. Because crossdresser is more like they do it the one time.
Or like Hideyoshi's case where they don't do it regularly, but it just keeps happening.
It's not like I'd say it's not like their actual identity as a person.
Yeah, Hideyoshi's not trying to look feminine.
Isn't Amane the one from Blaze Blue that
Amane is not a femboy.
A difficult case?
No, not at all. He's a kabuki dancer.
Kabuki dancer?
He's just a kabuki dancer. That's why he's like that. He likes beautiful things. In fact, he's more twink. He does cross.
We don't need any more twinks though. We're a little
no. I would put him in cross dressing if anything. Amane would be in cross dresser if anything. I would not put him in femboy category or fem man. I make the joke that he's a fem man, and people like to go, "Oh, he's a fem man." No, he is a crossdresser at best.
I was thinking of Mai, or I think that's their name.
Mai is a weird case as well because
gender bent.
They're gender bent.
Yeah,
it's like Cagliostro.
So clarification: we are not doing any gender bent characters because gender bent might
break rules,
quote unquote, technically fit trans. The problem is they don't really have a strong attachment to their gender. And we believe in order to be trans, you need that attachment, or it doesn't really matter.
We don't. Well, but Oh, what Fulton said, like the drag.
Well, like then like certain people that transform into like animals or something, you could technically classify them as trans in that case.
Yes, Valkenheim, werewolf man. He turns into a wolf literally mid combat.
Yeah, but we feel for
Yeah.
the trans category, in order to make it make sense, they have to specifically have a important attachment to their gender that they want to change.
We are very specifically not trying to be assholes here. We're trying to actually put like a thing together that makes sense. We are assholes, but you know.
I mean, I am. You're a lot nicer than me.
I try to be nicer, but in the end, I just apparently.
No, it's funny because on Twitter you appear like a much bigger dick than I am, until people like actually read into what I'm saying. Then like I'm typically way worse than you.
Well, because I'm very blunt.
Yeah, you're blunt, but you cap yourself pretty quick. I'm very subversive, but I will go like as far as humanly possible.
That's the difference between Mizu and I. Two sides of the same coin. We're on the same coin side, but one of us is a bigger asshole. But no, I would put Amane. We can put him in Crossdresser if you want to grab me. You just grab it from the Dust Loops wiki. It's just a cutout already.
Alright, fair enough.
But no, yeah, like I said, even Blaze Blue with all its characters, like even Mai, who's like I got turned into a woman, just goes, oh yeah, I'm just a woman now, and just moves on. Doesn't even like make a big deal out of it. Because by the time you actually get introduced to them in the plot, they're like, whatever. Yeah, I read that manga. It's a very ecchi manga.
I did not get unbanned from Twitter. We are still on ban. But I have a new Twitter now. I've been running it. It's a little disappointing.
Wait, just Wario Crossdress?
No.
No, we're putting Wario in the just a woman category.
Technically, if you're going by this list rules, they might fit more into Femboy.
Oh wait, Amane or who are we talking about? Big
Amane. I think we covered that Femboy has to be a specific like intent to look female, not just being feminine.
Yeah, because Amane, yes, does wear makeup and does the things, but for the most part, no one calls them a female. Like, no one's like, oh, that's a female, that's a girl. No, Amane is very like, hey, I'm a dude. Literally chasing after little boys. It's a very concerning thing. Mind you, he's doing it for a good reason. He's trying to keep his Carl out from being like an actual psychopath, but still.
The trans girl from Steins Gate we talked about earlier, we are not including them because in Steins Gate, they are, first off, they're not really attached to their gender, but they actually change whether or not they're trans depending on the continuity, which
of the timeline.
Gets really, really messy.
And there's certain characters you can't really put in there, even though for the most part, I would put Ruka in like the Femboy category or Crossdresser category, not Twink, because they do try to be feminine, but like I said, they're doing it for Okabe. They're not doing it for the sanity of it. I would
have them in Femboy.
They would be in one of those two, no matter what. Because they do regularly, yeah, that's fair. Even if they do regularly, but they would be fine being called a guy. They don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
They're doing it for Okabe, because even in like the where they're a female, they realize, oh, no matter what world I'm in, Okabe does not love me back. There is no reciprocated love.
But for the like sake of clarity, we just left them off, because anything that goes through like that gender bend bit is
actually no, Mettaton's actually a good point. Mettaton could both be in the trans category or the femboy, because if I'm correct, if I did my many years of my Undertale fandom research correctly.
So I'm going to ruin everybody's day. Mettaton is not trans. They are, however, a trans allegory, if that makes sense.
Yes, that was what I was going to say, because they're a ghost. They are a female ghost, if I'm correct.
They're a ghost who gets a physical body, which I believe, especially if you read the Ghost Diary, where they talk about being in their proper body, I 100% think they are a trans allegory. However, by the strict definition, I don't think they can qualify as trans.
But I would be okay with if we did stick them on this list, they would be in the trans category for sanity's sake.
If we put them on the list, they'd be trans, because I firmly believe he is a trans allegory.
Yeah, it's pretty blatant. It's not even like subtle. It's not even subtle. And that's fine. That's like what the character is if we were to put him in there. But we can put him in. I don't have an issue. We can fill out trans.
It would really make people mad if they heard me say that. Not trans, but is a trans allegory. I feel like that's probably...
I mean, I've had this argument for the past 3 days about Bridget. Bridget is probably still pre-Strive Bridget is one of the best trans allegories in the world.
Yeah.
Because society's saying you have to be this way, and then they're revolting. I stand by that to this day. I'll fight anyone on this. I'm getting tired of having to fight with Sky on it every time I talk about it. I don't care if Sky is here.
I don't think Sky watches my streams.
Sky doesn't watch any of our streams.
Sky just replies to my tweets every once in a while.
And they reply to mine way too often.
Redeem a stretch. We'll do a quick stretchy stretch. By the way, Burb, we need to play something one day, because me and Royen actually really enjoyed your little stream the other day.
It was fun.
When we raided you.
We were hanging out there lurking. I was lurking more because I was just tired.
Yeah. We both probably would have been talking more, but unfortunately when we stopped streaming, it's like 2 in the morning.
Wait.
So...
Here's how we do a Mane, right? You ready for this? You ready for this? Oh, wait, I know exactly what a meme I should have done for Hideyoshi. Just like a full transparent Hideyoshi just slowly over everything.
Oh, no, it's going to make me do an ad.
Should I just make a giant transparent Hideyoshi over everything?
You could.
As a bit.
I wouldn't do it. Yeah, over everything is probably fine. I was going to say under everything, but because we don't have so much transparency, you really wouldn't see much of it.
Alright, so we'll do like that. Grab Hideyoshi. Just put him over literally everything. Put him on the very top.
See, if we were actually making this into a chart to put on Twitter, you know what I would do to like really mess with people?
Oh, I'm putting it on Twitter.
In the Just a Woman category, I would have had like a couple really controversial picks. Like I probably would have put Astolfo. I would have put Bridget in Just a Woman.
If we were trying to be fuckheads. If we were actually trying to piss people off with this.
Yeah, I would have like Astolfo under Just a Woman.
Just slide him in Just a Woman
under
just to piss people off.
I would have the most controversial picks under Just a Woman.
Yamato
category.
would be in Twink.
I would have Shimikaze under Trans.
No, you put Shimikaze under Just a Guy.
No, because then that's way too obvious that you're like messing with people.
That's fair.
I would put Shimikaze under Trans. You have to do it in a way to where people.
Everyone is just under Just a Woman. No, just write Hideyoshi and everyone's under Hideyoshi.
I think you should do full screen Hideyoshi and then make it more transparent.
Oh, so you just barely see it?
Yeah.
Alright.
So people people start noticing.
Much later on.
Yeah.
Do you really think people are going to actually pay attention long enough to see this?
They might.
Alright, let's keep making Hideyoshi just a little bigger. I've got to keep, yes. Just Monica.
Good night, Malbert. Have a good sleep.
Good night, Malbert. I'll talk to you later. Malbert, you have to DM me more often. We don't hang out that much. Maybe you like that?
Oh, wait. Yeah, I like that. But,
just Hideyoshi just there. I think you want to be able to make sure you can see Hideyoshi, but I'll make it. We'll figure it out more.
So anyone who followed me on Twitter knows this one. Royen might know this one if he paid attention to the tweet. This character.
Isn't that from Ghost Stories?
No.
That looks like from Ghost Stories.
Yuki is from a hentai called the Family of Debauchery.
Stop! Where are they going? Just tell me.
Yuki is hard to place because they're referred to as the sister, but they are a boy. I would probably file them under
Femboy.
either crossdresser or femboy.
We'll do femboy because generally speaking, that only the just a boy comes up only when the boy thing and girl thing, when they're told different genders, is almost exclusively pulled for Otsunoko culture. It's not like...
So, a lot of the characters we are picking, femboy, trans, whatever, is typically their character focus, just because it's not really talked about otherwise. But we are not choosing only people who are very specifically these things. If it's like a side part of their character, it's fine. Like, the trans girl from One Piece. I don't think her being trans is like a major part of her character. It's
I haven't
just
read it.
like something that's there.
Also, yeah, hentai has like the rule of okay. All right, well, I'll write the chart back up. This is the chart. This is the explanation. Good luck. X is what are they're not exclusively like. For example, cross dressers and twinks.
Well, he wasn't asking like how people are connected. He was asking how are we choosing what characters will go on the chart. Just the character point blank.
Oh, there's no primary.
We're just taking suggestions.
Who are the big ones? We need more of the big characters to slide in here. Just like get him in there. The fact that Femboy is so underpopulated is funny to me.
Yeah.
Because people really don't know what a Femboy is. Because even my model.
So first off, I am kind of hype about this character design. That said, I would not know
You have to send me this.
What this person is. Like, they're definitely male, but I don't know like what their identification is under.
The fuck am I looking at? How do I classify this?
They're a guy. They have a twin sister, though.
Actually, you know. I
got one to like really screw with both of us.
Oh,
like,
I was gonna say Jess Darrow and Jess Darrow from D Grayman, but they're exclusively would be. They dress very like effeminate, but they would be under cross, just right worse. But they're definitely twinks. Just I would put that out there.
Here you go, Ryan.
I'm waiting.
Sorry, I sent it to the wrong person.
Where am I putting this character that you sent me the last one?
We'll discuss it with Sigrun, because Sigrun knows.
Why are you like this? Aren't they literally swapping? They swapped?
They do. They swap at random.
Yeah, no, they would go fuck yourself. For those who don't know who it is, let me grab it, the picture of it. The answer is go fuck yourself. These characters for everyone who doesn't know.
It's Hansel and Gretel from Black Lagoon.
Yeah, they go fuck yourself. They don't care. You don't know. They keep swapping.
We physically cannot get into the reasoning behind their existence on Twitch. However, Hansel and Gretel swap back and forth. It's not really even explained when they do it. They just do it. To the point where they have even though both of them are still alive, they have a split personality of each other.
Which is very silly.
It is implied, yes. I'm not saying that out loud, Big.
We can't say that. Especially since this is going on YouTube. Thank God the chat is blocked. For those who want to know what it is, Wincest.
You still can't do that.
I can do it on... Lightning, cut, block, bleep all this out. But, like, keep a lot of this long form. Just cut out, like, the filler, but this is going to be, like, a 40-minute video, please.
The Overlord twins, I would literally say, are just cross-dressers.
They're cross-dressers.
Mostly because they specifically mention the fact they're cross-dressing in the show.
And the fact that the boy doesn't want to do it.
Demiurge asked them specifically why they dress the way they do, and they say that
because when
their creator said it's called cross-dressing. And it's funny because they don't understand what cross-dressing is. It's a huge discussion where
they specifically say Otonoko, like, I thought.
Do what?
I thought they specifically say Otonoko. Otonoko?
No, they because he asked both of them and they both cross-dress as the other gender.
Yeah.
But they specifically say it's cross-dressing, it's what it was called. And he continues further asking, and it even comes up later in the series of he thinks there's like a deeper purpose to it. No, because he can't understand why their creator would have them dress that way if there wasn't a tactical advantage. So literally none of them understand what cross-dressing is other than it exists and they do it.
Well, Einstein Ghoul is the only one that gets it right. Because he's like...
yeah, because he is an actual human.
Yeah.
In reality, they are cross-dressing. They just don't know what cross-dressing means
or why they do it.
Behind it.
Yeah, no, yeah, they
liked it.
The creator is just it's a weeb basically.
I'll never get over the fact that Shoutir's creator was such an absolute degenerate that he put every single fetish he had into her.
And then I don't go like an idiot, sets her settings to fucking Los Eyes. That's a good joke. I love the subtle jokes of Overlord. They're really good.
For those of you who don't know, I hate like animes that get particularly violent or gory or depressing. However, I adore Overlord. It is one of my favorites in the past couple years.
Well, because it's not really so much depressing as it's like it's cathartic.
It is if you start reading into it.
Oh no, when you read into it, remember half season 2 was just about lizards mating rituals.
Yeah, with humans.
Yeah, that was the thing. Well, no, it's very dark and depressing, but it's like it's also very cathartic. Yeah, the novel is literally lore dumps.
It's actually interesting. Like, I like to talk about it every once in a while, but you have animes like Sword Art Online, where it's made by somebody who openly admits they have no idea how video games work, so they're just winging it. Whereas you have other animes like Overlord and Log Horizon, where both of their creators are such massive MMO nerds that for whatever bizarre reason, their entire video game lore is written front to back. Stuff that you would never know about, like the power tiering system, the leveling system, how stats work. All of that is written out in like a lore bible, like some J.R.R. Tolkien bullcrap.
It's great. Well, I mean, Hunter x Hunter is only so popular because so good power system is because the creator is just this giant RPG nerd.
Yeah.
Also, I just learned the other day that Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho are written by the same person. I never knew. I just never knew. Carry on.
But no, yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
No, it's not that goreful, and it's just more that it's like it has it.
Yeah, we wouldn't say it's gory, but it is very suggestive.
We
and
can
very
put
dark.
Tsubasa on this. Mizu, grab Tsubasa.
The name is familiar, but I don't remember.
Big, where's it from again?
Well, there's Captain Tsubasa, but I wouldn't put him on this.
He's a Chad. He goes in
like
Chad.
Typical shonen protag, it looks like.
We had that character already.
Yeah, if you search Tsubasa, the first thing that pops up is a soccer anime called Captain Tsubasa. Oh, Ranma? No, that's too... No.
No, Ranma's gender bend. We can't put gender bend on this.
Oh, no, wait, Tsubasa is not
Oh, no, right. Tsubasa is the one that, oh, yeah, we did talk about it. I forgot we talked about this. Tsubasa is technically a cross-dresser, but...
I don't know anything about Ranma.
Okay, this one was complicated because... This one was very complicated. For the most part, I believe they are just classified as a cross-dresser. But Ranma's kind of a dick is the problem. Because Ranma as a character is an asshole.
If you add Tsubasa to the list, will you use this one and will you crop it down to where it's just the mailbox?
Yeah. Yes. Because Tsubasa regularly cross-dresses, if I'm correct. They might be trans. I don't remember. Big would know better than I would about this one. But I will crop this out for you. Where'd you even find this image? Mind you, the creator of Ranma, it also is Inuyasha. They're pretty fine with like very gender neutral characters in general. Like we already have the one character from Inuyasha over here.
The wiki does label them a male crossdresser.
They do believe they call themselves male. Alright, Mizu, you're gonna love this crop. You love it so much.
Sometimes you just have to use like the fun stuff. You can't just, use the regular clips.
Well, because you get a good one, then I'm all for it, obviously.
Oh, I've got one after you do this.
Let's post them in there while I'm doing this. Where are they?
Although this one is going to be another wiry like this.
Please enjoy your there you go.
My mailbox.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Tsubasa's weird. Oh, that's a female. No, that's female.
Are you sure?
Oh, I know who it is. I know the character you're thinking of. They do go from like a male to female, but Bobo is a fucking meme. You know what? Nah, sure. Torpedo Girl could be. We'll put her in trans and fuck with people. Sure, we're gonna have one or two fuckery posts here.
This always threw me off, right? And I think this is because it is Japanese
Woman?
first, and there are a lot of Japanese references in it. It always got on my nerves that in localization her name wasn't changed to Bombshell.
Oh, right. It's Torpedo Woman, isn't it?
Well, it's Torpedo Girl. I think they still stuck with Torpedo Girl in localization.
Yeah.
But it annoys me that they did not change her name to Bombshell.
I'm putting her in
because I
trans
feel like that's something Bobobo would have done, but that isn't a idiom in Japan. It is an idiom in America, though.
I'm gonna put her right there. Just slide her in there.
Just sneak it at the bottom.
Yeah, we're just sneaking her. There's just a woman. It's just a woman. Alright, we're putting her in trans a fuck because they start out as a guy, if I'm correct.
They have another half that is called Over that is a guy.
Yeah. I'll put him in trans, but Bobo is a meme because Bobo regularly cross dresses.
Just for total clarification, this is what their other form looks like.
I mean, it's been a hot minute. Yeah, that was it. But here's the thing: once they transform into Torpedo Girl, they never transform back.
According to Wiki, because I honestly don't understand how Bobobo works. Granted, nobody understands how Bobobo works.
I understand how Bobo works. Fuck you.
There are two separate entities, but only one of them can exist at a time.
Yeah.
Which just...
That's why that they're two different entities. As in, so okay, you ever read Mare with like the cup and ball toy as the character's main weapon?
No.
So basically, there's a character that where
say cock and ball torture.
Oh, they do transform back for a little bit. I don't remember because, like I said, Bobo has been a long time since I read that. They aren't personalities. They're separate people. They are just different people. So that is just a woman.
We're just doing this for the meme.
At this point, they're just there for a meme. We do try to slide them in. That's why Hideyoshi's just overplayed everything.
Granted, I'll admit I was, until just now, more on board with the trans thing because I have not seen Bobobo since I was a little kid.
Right? I read the manga.
So I only have like the vague memory of Bombshell turns into a man. And I will still call them Bombshell to this day because that is a perfect name. And I think if they were American, they would have used Bombshell.
If they were American enough.
Yeah.
So, but no, Bobo is such a... Because it is a gag. No, they're definitely not trans.
Birdo is very difficult to like place because early Mario translations were fucked. And it has come out in like recent years that first off, it's very likely that Birdo was never intended to be trans. They were just intended to be girl monster.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with like Vivian, the ghost girl or whatever.
Yeah.
In Paper Mario.
Because localization... Hell, look at Poison, for example. The constant people with the myth going, oh, Poison was just turned trans to beat up women. No, she was meant to be trans. Even if that was the case, she was meant to be trans from the beginning. Like Inception. Like during development.
Very important to understand with characters like Birdo and characters like Vivian is that they come from a Nintendo property. And that's not to say that Nintendo is transphobic or was against including trans people. However, Nintendo has always played it extremely safe. Mm-hmm. They have always been a very safe company that does not want to tackle new issues until they are already popular and not going to give them pushback.
Man, doesn't that sound familiar?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they've never, like, as far as I know, Nintendo's has never tried to lie about that.
Wait, here, let me zoom in.
Also never confirmed it.
Man, let me zoom in here. Man, doesn't that sound real familiar?
But here, I insist you put this one in the Femboy category.
All right, give me a sec. Is it to piss people off?
No, after stuff I've read, I am a firm believer that Vivian was intended to be more Otonoko.
That's fair. That's fine.
And that just because of the fact they're in a sister group, they are kind of expected to be more feminine.
Oh, you
But a
wouldn't.
lot of the dialogue I've seen in Japanese refers to them. Yeah, they're actually called Oshinoko in their Japanese bio, and they're often referred to as like what is it? The
Not new half.
not new half. It's the like father daughter or something.
Yeah, the male daughter.
Male daughter. In all their dialogue, and at some point in coming over to the West, because we don't have like a good word for that, they just started calling him trans, or
They do
calling
this.
him a woman or the other sister, and implying that he used to be male. However, from everything I've seen, it's basically confirmed he was always meant to be male. It was
There we
just
go.
a trope that I guess the West didn't really understand very well at the time. I'm actually more convinced of that being a thing now. Is that a lot of early trans characters were probably people not necessarily understanding what male daughter was and thinking it was more of a Japanese way to say trans.
On top of the fact that trans has been very changed over time, because a long time people that were just cross-dressers were called trans,
Yes.
along with a lot of drag performers were just considered trans. Because remember, being trans is a lot newer than people think it is. It really is.
Shido? Or Maria Shido?
What series? Name your series is.
Maria Holic?
Okay. If it's a Holic series, if I'm correct who this
girl.
is. Okay, I thought it was
Guy.
from a different series entirely.
The deuteragonist of the story, so they are one of the protagonists. The older twin of Shizu Shidao, who is acting in her place with her name, and he dresses in her choice of clothes, where he
Hey, Fabo.
attends Ami no Kisaki as a girl as a means to win the chairmanship of both the all-male and all-female schools, where his late grandmother served as the ex-chairman for both.
Crossdresser. I would put Crossdresser, not Femboy.
I would actually say we would need more information. Because even though they do this for that reason, there's a possibility that it becomes something they enjoy and something they continue on later down the line.
Yeah, if they keep doing it afterwards, they achieve that goal. I don't remember. I haven't seen the show. If they kept doing it afterwards and they just like doing it, then yes, I could put them in Femboy. But if they're doing it just to win that, I would leave them in Crossdresser.
Yeah,
Like if they
I
stop
feel like
doing it.
this is more information based on what I'm reading.
So I'm gonna put them for what information that I read. About thirst
Lesbians getting bullied
lesbians.
by men.
All right, they're going in the Femboy category. I mean, the Crossdresser category, just for.
Trial Captain Alima. Or Lima. Oh, him.
I am
he's
gonna put them
probably
in the.
twink.
I am gonna put the. I'm not putting more twinks in. We're out of twink space.
Yeah, we've taken up too many twinks.
It's almost like there's more twinks than anything else. We're really digging for these, by the way. We are really digging for these characters.
Not only are we really digging for Femboy, we are probably gonna get like backlash on at least 2 of them.
Well, I know people are gonna go, oh, but Amani's a Femboy. I'm like, no, shut the fuck up. He's a kabuki dancer. Like, yes, even that look, you can tell he's quite literally a guy. Like, they don't hide that. He doesn't call
There are enough
himself.
twinks.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people also use Femboy very much liberally now. Like,
So I
they
will say
Grusha.
this big. If Agito was one of the first ones we got, if he wasn't, we probably would not have placed him at all, and he probably would have fallen under the too confusing category.
Like, we can take people out, but I don't really want to. I like to bring obscure things. And Scum messaged me personally saying, I hate you for not reading that, so I have to leave him in now.
Yeah, after Agito, we decided that people with like split personality or people that just fully changed genders would not be included at all. Or like magically changed genders, I mean, because they're too confusing to actually put in a real classification. They're more of strictly a this happens in fantasy thing.
I think we've covered.
He's wrong.
No, Scum likes air gear. Also, I can't tell my husband he's wrong.
Izu from One Piece. I think I remember them, but we already have some One Piece reps, so I think we're good.
We are leaving. We can't just keep grabbing the same series because, like, trust me, there's some series that we would just have like nothing but like wild character situations for.
I think we're both kind of the idea that we would like people to look at this and at least come away with not recognizing a couple.
Yeah, because we put some
do
of the popular
One
ones.
Piece, everybody's gonna know them. Even if the character isn't super popular in One Piece, because
The
the
art
series
style
is,
and
they're
the
gonna
art
be
style.
talked about.
By the way, I've obscured Venti behind Link at this point because I'm so tired of the Venti conversation. Holy shit, I'm so tired of this conversation with Venti.
Yeah, if you weren't here earlier, Venti is one of the ones where we are tempted to not even call them a twink because we believe that young characters are just kind of naturally twinkish, and it's not really fair to put them in that category.
I'm gonna get so much shit for this post.
What, the chart?
Just this entire post.
I already told you there's stuff we could do to make it worse. But,
I know.
I suppose we should keep it our legitimate opinions as opposed to just rage bait.
We can make a rage bait one next time I'm in town.
So does anybody have any, like, hopefully femboy suggestions? 'Cause we've
Like
been
actual
light.
femboy or cross dresses. We can't use. Everyone keeps a lot of femboy characters are called. Oh, they're called femboys. They're literally in twink.
Yeah.
No, Venti is like several thousand years old. It's just that he has the body of. He took the body of his dead friend that is young. It is very specific because he is shorter than like Luke. Like he has the young male body type, like the teenage body type in the game.
Yeah.
It's like Chi-Chi and all the small children have like the small girl body types. Then there's like the younger boys like Venti and the Shotas basically. And what's his name? What's the bestest boy?
The wiki says 15.
Yeah.
Recommend Mizana for femboy.
Sure.
I can't put myself on the chart.
Well, I mean, I would go in Crossdresser if you go in Femboy.
Sure. We can force ourselves into the chart.
Look at that. I'm putting
Mizuko's under twink. Shut up.
Mizuko's are just a woman. Technically, Mizu could go in every category. But that's why Hideyoshi's there. Like, I think I, in real life, and my model function under Crossdresser more than Femboy. Personally.
I'd say you're probably more crossdresser.
I prefer, like, I don't dress feminine every day anymore. For obvious reasons.
That's fair.
I used to, but like I still do feminine things, but like I just don't care about gender stereotype. I mean, other than that, I am fine with this list so far. It's just, you know.
We were hoping to have more femboys, though we did acknowledge when we saw the original list that there really weren't as many femboys as people thought.
Oh, right. For those who were not here for the beginning, we hate this meme because it's so stupid.
Yeah. It's also the only reason Shimikaze is on this list at all.
Like we had the, oh, I can't put him in twink. He's already there. So of the people on this list, the actual femboys are Astolfo, Chihiro, and Felix.
Yeah.
Those are and the thing is, 2 of them are considered traps, and Chihiro is a weird case.
Yep.
Grusha is a snow clothing.
No, my favorite one on this list has always been Shimikaze because Shimikaze literally
It's
just
just
female.
a woman. It's just a woman. Saiki Tokutsu or Guri.
I'm searching it. Oh yeah, no, that's the one in the middle.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know about this anime, so we just didn't use them. Because it could be a guy, because you can see his spats underneath, but they're also just wearing like a tennis outfit, and they're just kind of feminine.
We just don't know enough about the anime.
Literally, I'm pretty sure the person like grabbed this and just grabbed legit random characters. But the fact that they grabbed, this is the one that makes it funny. Like, you would have had like kind of a point here with like Link, and these are the 2 that like you might have had a point with, because people do call all these characters femboys, even though they're wrong. The only 2 that are, despite there only actually being 3. Because
Here's what I think a lot of people don't realize about why having Shimikaze on here is so funny, is because the only art where Shimikaze is portrayed as a male is porn. And the very same person who tweeted this list said that she thought the only reason anyone wanted Bridget to be a femboy was because they were, quote, porn-addled, they had a porn-addled brain. So it's hilarious that you included a character who you would only assume was a femboy if you only knew them from porn and not the actual series they're from. Haku is under twink. We decided Haku is under twink because Haku really has no intention of being seen as female and actively identifies as male where possible. They had a weird upbringing.
Yeah, it's a complicated one. It's the same reason why what's his name from Ash Classroom is there.
Yeah, we also have like a weird thing with certain clothes for deciding cross-dresser. So like we have Gemini from Mega Man Star Force, Pat Spriggs, who is wearing future clothes. And yeah, the clothes in our society is probably something more a girl would wear, but everybody in Mega Man Star Force kind of dresses like a weirdo. So it's
at
really
least when they're in like
those are girls' clothes.
Okay, Link is under twink not because they're okay, because they're an elf. Elves are by default kind of twinky by default. Even like in Lord of the Rings, Legolas is a very feminine man, despite being a man.
I think it's fair to clarify the rules for cross-dressing. For cross-dressing, it has to be something you willingly do on the regular. So, and keyword is willingly and regular.
That's why Teddy's
the kid
weird.
From Ass Class is on here because he cross-dresses because he is forced to.
Oh, I thought we put him in twink.
He doesn't like it.
Yeah, because that's why we put him in twink.
Same thing with Link. Link dresses in the Gerudo outfit because he is forced to
even if he's indifferent towards it. He's probably indifferent towards it, like in reality. Yeah. We're not killing the term tweak. Everyone else is killing the term twink.
We are correcting the term twink. Thank you.
We are so tired of this shit. Because look, Teddy is, for the lack of better words, I wouldn't even consider him a twink. He dresses like this, which is like bachelor. But because Teddy is in high school and does win, like dresses Alice from like, Alice in Wonderland, does win the cross-dressing contest. But the problem is, Kanji cross-dresses in that. Naoto regularly cross-dresses. Yosuke, you have him cross-dress. Should have been the gay relationship, by the way. And then
this was kind of your mistake, is you showed up a little late, so you missed a lot of our clarifications. One of our big clarifications was we are very iffy about putting any younger male under twink because we feel a lot of young males just naturally look twinkish. And you tend to grow into being more manly. So it feels weird having anyone that is like high school anime aged under twink. Because you can make an argument for even some shonen protagonists looking very twinkish under the right circumstances. It's just because they're young. It's not because that's actually how they look. Because like we had a bunch of clarifications for how we were setting up the chart. Because it's hard to like really piece it together without clarifications, or else we'd have 50 categories on here. Like twink but young, cross-dresser but only once. We'd probably have a separate section for trans but not their choice, like from Onimai.
But gender bent would kind of have to like just not be allowed in here.
Yeah, gender bend we'd have to have a category for. We'd have to specifically have gender bend, and then it would kind of ruin the point, because then it'd just be listing out characters in that genre. Like Ranma. We'd probably put Cagliostro in there.
Cagliostro is in the weird category, because like Mai from BlazBlue, they don't function how they should.
No, but I'd say they'd go under gender bend with Mahiro.
Yeah.
And Ranma.
Also, by the way, for those who don't know about the best boy of the most powerful entity in this series, I had to DM this to somebody who didn't know who Hideyoshi was. Hideyoshi gets to test rest best male character and the 10th best male character and second best character in the entire light novel. Won every possible award.
To be fair, 10th best female character would not be winning any awards. You're way at the end.
I think no. It was specifically of the year though, like of anime that year.
Of anime that year.
Yeah, all those were just of that year of light novels.
Fair.
in the 2019 Kono light novel Dagaisko, which is like best characters of the year of light novels. Just fucking clap cheeks. Because he claps everyone's cheeks. Everyone likes Hideyoshi. It's great.
I think we've made a decent enough chart, even if we didn't get as many Femboys as we hoped.
Muzin.
But he said that would be gender bend, so I didn't even look it up.
Well, that's what I was saying with a good chart. Like, because a lot of times I say this.
Oh, Michael Jackson.
Where the
Demon
fuck?
Slayer?
Oh.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I haven't watched Demon Slayer.
Apparently his name is Mizu.
Oh.
I swear to God, he's modeled after Michael Jackson. I don't care what anyone says. Like, he's even got the hat, and like he has a similar dress sense.
No, he's Michael Jackson.
You're thinking of Mahiro from Onimai, where he has the whole, he pees himself. It's not cross-dressers, it's gender bend.
Actually, there's probably a lot of femboy scenes and cross-dresser scenes with peeing themselves.
Yeah, but the Onimai one was kind of famous.
I mean, a lot of gender. Actually, I learned a lot of gender bent. A lot of gender bent manga have like a peeing scene in them. I noticed. There was one where like a college student gets turned into like an elementary schooler, like first year elementary schooler, and he doesn't like piss himself on purpose, but he like the water is leaking from the top. He's like, I peed, and I'm like, everyone's like, what?
I think probably the purpose of that, it might be less fetishy than it seems. Because I think a lot of the interest in gender bend is exploring a gender you're not a part of. So you kind of explore everything related to it.
Yeah, it's not fetishy. It is what it is. I mean, gender bend is
about
fetish,
them in the opening had a scene with the three of them peeing together. That's like her. That's if it is, that's her oppressed memory in the back of my mind, and I would rather not think about it. Look, I'm not a huge water sports fan. I'm not against you, like, y'all being into it. You do you, bro. But I'm not huge on that.
I can't wait for Lightning to edit this. So I think that was. I agree.
As I was saying, I think we're good.
Let me hide this.
Royen's gonna save this and post it on Twitter so we can piss people off.
There it is. That's the completed list.
Don't forget to send it to me so I can post it as well.
Fair enough. I was just gonna at you.
Look, bro, I feel like that's still technically water sport. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying, like, it's at least adjacent.
I'm judging you. I don't even know where I'm gonna put this thing. Where do I?
What do you mean?
I don't know where to store it. Completed photos. That's where I'm storing it. I'm putting this in my Mizu posting folder.
Fair. But thank you guys for dropping by. I think what I'm gonna do tonight for finding out who to raid is I'm going to specifically search the tags VTubers and Femboys. I think it's probably the best way to do it. So now,
so yeah, I'm also gonna put this up on YouTube, like as the entire VOD here up on YouTube. But I'm gonna have Lightning edit down a lot of it, like cut out a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna stop my recording now. Say goodbye to YouTube, Mizu.
Bye, YouTube.
You have anything good pun end of story saying? Because it'd be really funny if Lightning just cut us off right there, just a hard cut to like my outro. It'd be kind of funny, don't you think?
I have a joke.